Greetings, salutations, and abandon hope, all ye who enter herein. Welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, but not necessarily as you know it. I am your host and guest Dungeon Master, Sam Burns, and tonight a group of mad actors plumb the infernal depths of Dungeons and Dragons. Joining me is Robbie, Tomb of Horrors, Bellicom, Ellie, Little Shop of Horrors, Sparrow,
Yay.
and Jason, Little House on the Prairie, Phillips.
Yeah, fuck you.
You get to be the butt monkey this time.
It feels good, doesn't it,
It
Jason?
really does.
It does.
Yeah. So yeah, this is our Halloween special, guys. Welcome.
Ooh.
Yes.
Scary
Yes,
things are in the night. All that shit.
Yeah, so, as always, before we set off, I would like to now take a quiet moment of contemplation as we attempt to intercept messages from the present.
No messages today? Check out episode 17 for the latest announcements. Back to you.
I'm looking really intently at the mic, Jason. Is that how you do it?
Yep.
Yeah, he's
I'm
still doing it.
actually still doing it. I'd like to imagine that we're looking at each other through this microphone lens.
Lovingly, I imagine.
Isn't it weird that just neither of us are blinking?
I know, right?
Yeah, it's really
You know
quite
how on
scary.
the... I believe it was episode 14 you said of Jimothy, I can hear him not blinking. I can hear you not blinking, Jason, and frankly it's creeping me out. But that's all to the good, because
Oh dear.
this is the Halloween special, and
I'm worried Jimothy's going to make a guest appearance now.
no promises.
I mean, there's not just one Jimothy in all fairness. As far
That
as
is
we
true.
know. We still don't know a
Yeah.
lot, so...
Yeah. Very well. If we're all ready,
Yes.
then we
Yep.
shall begin this special episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs.
Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinear. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
We return for this story to the world of Calcinear. But long before the story you know. The year is 1348 on the continent of Haldanos, approaching the portside city of Hongguao. 4 companions travel together, having recently resolved a diplomatic issue with some neighboring giants. They have been summoned to the dwelling of a Dr. Ricard Acula, who believes he is on the cusp of a breakthrough in research he has been conducting on the plague that has been sweeping the continent. He has temporarily set up shop in Hongguao, and as we join our characters, they are cresting a rise overlooking the port city. If we start with Jason, describe what your character looks like.
My character, Foman Cho, is an enormously obese hobgoblin, garbed in thick lamellar armour, painted a deep red and yellow, and bearing a shield with 2 dragons coiled around a tower. He has sworn an oath of strict pacifism, an oath which is frequently broken thanks to the actions of his companions. As a representative of the Master of Hongguao, he is constantly attempting to try and bring peace and order to the region. In this case, he is hoping that the team can successfully recover the body parts of Jimothias the 93rd, which will apparently be vital to producing this cure Dr. Acula has spoken of.
Excellent. And if we then move on to Ellie.
Okay, well, before you see this big fucking hulking orc, muscles everywhere, six-pack peeking out from underneath a torn leather shirt. Everything is black leather, like beaten up like it's been in 100 fights. And she has a big mop of red hair that comes sort of elbow length. And you can tell that it's sort of frizzy, but it's been kind of combed into like an emo fringe sort of situation. Like she's got this big frizzy red hair, but she's like, no, I am an emo. It comes like this. But it's not quite worked. I'm going to drop the accent describing my character. And because this is hard. And as you watch her, she reaches into a pocket and takes out half a rat skull and reaches into her bag and takes out an enormous bottle of vodka and unscrews the cap on the vodka, pours it into the half rat skull and takes what, by Russian standards, might be a shot, but for most of us, is pretty terrifying. She's also got eyeliner down half of her face and tusks that come up to sort of like mid-cheek. And she is like, if you look at her, you think she has a face that has probably never smiled, like, ever. And she turns to, what was your character name? I've forgotten.
Foe.
Sorry. She turns to Foe and she goes, how long till we fucking get there?
According to the map, we should be there in just a few moments.
Ugh.
Darren, catch up!
And that's a very good opportunity to introduce Darren.
Darren. Darren is not catching up, or trying not to, but it's as though he's trailing behind substantially, but it's like an invisible figure keeps pushing him forward slightly, and he keeps nearly tripping because the man is clumsy. But he's a scrawny fella, in badly fitting armour, looks like it was made for someone substantially more muscled. He's got very light fur over his entire body, slightly pointed ears, yellow eyes, and just a general air of unhappiness.
Oh no.
Just doesn't want to be there.
Oh.
Doesn't want to be there.
Just ahead of him is a human man with dark mousy hair, quite pale skin, a sort of thin, almost pencil moustache, and maybe 2 or 3 days stubble growth on his chin. This is the group's cleric, Hubert Vist. He has been expelled from pretty much every academic organisation he's ever been a part of for unsuitable conduct, often with corpses.
Oh dear.
He always says to people, "It really wasn't what you think."
Oh god.
I really hope it wasn't.
Oh, I really hope so too.
But he is, like it or loathe it, one of the reasons why most of the rest of the members of the party are still alive. For now.
Oh, he's creepy. Oh, I forgot to say, my name is Stuffy. Sometimes I slay vampires. Whereas I didn't do a character name.
Brilliant. Alright, so You crest a rise overlooking the city of Hongguao. Girls are like that. Rises are good. And as you head down the path towards this port city, you see a large brickwork tower, which appears to be the place where Dr. Ricard Acula has set up his laboratory. He is a noted phlebotomist and physician.
What's a phlebotomist?
A phlebotomist is a type of doctor that specializes in studying blood.
Ah, right, okay.
Also taking blood and
Halloween.
transfusing blood. And basically things that involve the red stuff on the inside of people.
Right.
Involve it not staying on the inside of people.
Yes, generally it is, yeah. Your meeting with Dr. Ricard Acula begins as you arrived at this brickwork tower. You found the door was slightly swinging on its hinges, and as you approached, the voice of Dr. Ricard Acula came from up above you. This whole tower seemed to be like a long, thin rectangle until you got to the top floor of it, essentially, and the majority of the inside was just taken up by one long, winding staircase. But as you approached the door, you heard, "Come in, it's open."
And indeed we
For the
did.
sake of time, Dr. Acula, once introductions had been made, seemed to be another human man of quite stellar complexion, similar in some ways to Hubert, but where Hubert has just some plain functional leather armor and a thick traveling cloak around him, Dr. Acula appears to have various different leather harnesses strapped across his body at various different articulation points. To the point where there's so many of them you can't really see if there's any other clothing underneath, but the instinct that you all have is not to examine too closely.
Stuffy speculates that he might be very kinky.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are these harnesses that are like armor, or are they harnesses?
They are, you would guess,
Harnesses.
that would have originally been used for securing items rather than people. You aren't quite sure what all of these harnesses are there for, but the good doctor says to you that I am running experiments on the flow of blood around the body, and as there were no volunteers, I was forced to use myself as a test subject. But that is not why I brought you here. I have discovered something which could potentially change the course of history across this continent. We have been plagued by a terrible plague for the last... He
Plague,
consults
plague.
his notes. 5 long years. I believe I have found the tomb of Jimothias the 93rd. Now, who is Jimothias the 93rd, you may ask? And it is a very good question. He was the last in a line of long necromancer kings who ruled this land many centuries ago. And I believe I have discovered the location of his tomb, and his tomb is said to contain many different powerful necromantic objects. But what I need from you is a small sample of his last mortal remains. With this, I am confident that I have found a means of synthesizing a cure for this plague.
Very well, that seems to be the sensible thing to do. I assume, in the interest of paying the rest of my party, you won't mind if we just acquire any other treasures we find there?
Oh, absolutely. Anything else you may find there is absolutely fair game. I will pay you, of course, for your time, but anything extra is yours to do with as you see fit.
Excellent. If you could mark the location of the map on our map, location of the tomb, I should say, on our map, then I suppose we'd best get right on to that.
Most excellent.
Right, let's go. I take a shot of vodka.
He looks at you for a brief moment and goes, "Are you from the old country?"
Yes, I am definitely from the old country.
Good. It is.
I don't ask him where he's from, I just say, yes, I'm from the old country.
And indeed, you're not entirely sure what he means by the old country.
I'm deadly serious when I say it, though. Yes, I am from old country.
Can I just psychically communicate with my invisible friend and just ask, is this on the level? Is he fucking with us? Is he dead? Is this a vampire? Is Mr. I'm not a vampire definitely a vampire?
Everybody roll a perception check.
Well, I'm asking my little invisible friend to have a look.
I know. I mean, is he...
He's invisible.
10.
Right, alright.
16.
Okay, the rest of... Well, actually, Stuffy, you hear just a tiny little...
Well, that's adorable.
Although, that's... You've heard this noise many times before. It just seems to be something that emanates from Darren's person occasionally. And you've not really questioned it. It's just sometimes a little annoying when you're trying to sleep at night. Darren, what you hear is, "Oi, listen, now, there's a little spell I can do that'll be able to tell me if he's on the level, right? Okay, just..." And Darren, only you can see this, but there is a tiny humanoid figure about maybe 5 or 6 inches in height. They have
he's a dick.
hummingbird wings and like very spiked back hair that looks like they're going 1,000,000 miles an hour standing still. He has in one hand a small pin, essentially, that has been sharpened into a rudimentary sword for something of his size. And in the other hand, he has the tiniest bow imaginable. Like,
okay, now I'm ignoring him. He's still a prick. It's
a small bow, even for a person who is 6 inches in height. And he puts both away for the moment, and then makes a couple of vaguely fey gestures in the air, and he then closes his eyes and looks like he's concentrating really, really hard on something for a few moments, and says, "Well, if by on the level you mean he's being truthful, then strictly speaking, yes. Although there is absolutely no guarantee he doesn't ultimately intend your downfall."
Right. Is he alive?
Not exactly.
Right. This is gonna go great. Are you sure I have to do this?
Well, look at it this way. It's an opportunity. You don't necessarily have to be killed by him. It's just an option.
I hate you so much. Right, let's go get killed.
My apologies for my companion. Sometimes they talk to themselves.
I can do it in my head.
Alright, never mind.
Okay.
I communicate psychically.
Okay, no. In which case,
technically a
Foe
familiar.
is just being insulting and gesturing to Hubert,
I
who has
think
just
the
been
last
muttering
sentence was
off.
alive. last sentence was out loud. The "we're going to get ourselves killed" was definitely out loud.
Yeah.
I go, I'll drink to that and have a shot.
What is wrong with you people?
Does this fairy have a name?
Ivan.
Jared and
of course,
Ivan.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
He sort of shrugs and his wings kind of buzz in the air and then he sits down on your shoulder.
Right, let's go.
He says,
Onwards then.
look at it this way. Worst case scenario, you die rich.
So,
What? Right, let's just go.
As you're walking along, he slowly crawls back into whatever Fey dimension he came out of.
right.
You Darren, know that you're never wholly free of him, but at some times he respects your privacy a little more than others.
As we leave the tower, I'm assuming it's made of brick or stone or something.
Yeah, it's like I describe it as like a stone brick building, which
Both of the things, great.
well, yeah, it's a stone brick building in the sense of the stones are very heavily and expertly mortared together, but they're not like clay bricks.
Yeah.
Clay bricks have not really been invented yet. This is,
I mean, they-
you know, you're one level up from Wattle and Daub.
I'd say the area certainly doesn't have the requisite right kind of clay for clay brick making, because clay bricks were definitely invented in the early 6000 BCs.
Okay.
But yeah,
The only one in this group who doesn't know that, so...
No.
I couldn't have put an exact date on it. I just
Yeah.
knew they've been around.
I bow to your superior historical.
but certainly,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
there's
it's a level 25 nerd,
yeah,
so...
certainly it's just there is ample stone in the area around Hong Guao, and most people just make their buildings out of dirt, wood or wood, because it's cheap. And by the time you can afford bricks, you might as well just use the stone.
Yeah, I mean, you can make cement essentially with the sand and everything there. But anyway, we digress. As we are
The
heading
point
out,
is, I would like to write above his door using mould earth.
okay,
What are you writing?
Cantrip. And I'm going to write "definitely not a vampire."
brilliant.
That is all. That is all that conversation now.
All right. Do
Me
you
graffiti.
share any of this with your companions?
Well, I write on the wall "definitely not a vampire" and leave it at that.
All right. I will say all the rest of you see this.
Nope. Foe marches steadfastly out the door, doesn't look back once.
I see it, go, look at Darren and go, fucking weirdo, and then walk on.
Trips over a rubbish cart on his way.
Oh,
Hubert looks at the words for a few moments and says, "Oh, well, nobody's perfect."
I just walk away from that.
Yep. We
Don't need to respond to that.
He grins at you, showing yellow teeth and scarlet gums.
Right.
Right. You follow the what looks like the directions on the map out of the city of Hongguao, and very quickly you are moving off the beaten path into the hills overlooking it. It's quite a heavily wooded region, and there is a sort of a track through the woods, but it becomes increasingly less travelled. And after about 2 hours trudging through a winding dirt track, you come across a small but sturdy-looking clapper bridge. On the opposite side of the bridge that runs over a stream that is maybe 10 feet across, and you couldn't even guess how many feet deep. On the other side of this bridge, you see what looks like a tall figure in full plate armor.
Clapper Bridge is those ones with the flat stones, isn't it?
Yes,
the
that's right.
old-fashioned stones on stones.
Yeah,
One
ye
step up
oldie
from stepping
stony
stones.
bridge.
Right, just double checking.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's close to the water.
Yes, it is quite close to the water, and there's little in the way of partitions at the side of it. There's a tiny little thing that sort of delineates the track, but it's not like you could lean on the side of it and play poo sticks or anything.
I mean, that was definitely going to be on my next in character move.
Armored guy on the
I
bridge.
play
Let's
pool
play
sticks.
Challenge him to a
might
game
want
of
to
poo
play.
sticks.
Yeah, no,
Sorry to
certainly-
interrupt. Please continue.
Do they call it poo sticks in other countries? Tweet us.
I
Tell
don't
us. I want to know. I want to know if
Yeah.
any of you who aren't English knows what that means, or if you just think that we're all doing really terrible things.
Yeah.
I
To
mean, it
public
does stick.
waterways. Alright, so this figure on the opposite side of the bridge, he has what appears to be a great sword, which he is just leaning lightly on. His hands are round about level with the top of his chest. His hands just leaning on the pommel there. And he appears to be regarding you all impassively.
I so want to start cutting limbs off him. Sorry.
It's just a flesh wound. You see, I went to the other end of that particular film. I thought when there was a figure on the bridge, it was going to be a dwarf, and he was going to go, "What? It's your name. What? It's your quest." By the way, forgive my ignorance. What is a clapper bridge? I don't actually know.
Clapper Bridge is just like a bridge that is made out of a single slab of stone over the water.
Oh, right, cool. Okay, cool.
Very, very prevalent in Dartmoor, because I think wood would just rot up there.
Yeah, fair. It probably would. It's very soggy.
Yeah. So as you approach, this Clapper Bridge it's not wide. You'd have to go single file across it, and the stream below is not deep. You could probably wade across it if you wanted to, but it's the most easy form of access across the bridge. You see in the centre of this knight's tabard, there is a rampant red dragon.
Oh.
As you approach, you can't see his eyes or her eyes. Gender appears to be difficult to determine as well. But whoever this is, they're quite well built.
Well, way's blocked. I figure we should just give up and go back.
I start walking across the bridge.
Okay.
I move as if to about to ask permission, and then nope, you've already started walking.
I walk on and try and look intimidating, just like I'm not even bothered that there's someone there.
Okay, the helmet slowly turns like. He turns to you. He puts his arm out to block your way and says, "Go back, traveller.
No, we have places to be. Get out of the way."
None shall pass."
Can I have a look in the water?
Yes, you can.
Is this water normal? Is anything interesting? What is that? Oh, that's a 9.
Nature check? Yeah.
I was just gonna nature check. That's even worse. That's a 7.
It appears to be regular water.
I'm going to try and barge him out the way.
He turns. Are you challenging me to a duel?
Yes, fuck it.
Then you shall die. And
I
he
slowly
draws his sword.
facepalm.
Everyone roll for initiative, please.
No! This is a duel.
Okay.
No, I'm getting involved because I don't.
Okay, I'll roll for initiative.
Nat one.
21.
Okay, 1 second, let me get it.
So I rolled a 1.
Okay, total.
Yep.
Yeah, his wasn't a natural one. Mine was a natural one, but it's a 4 if that matters.
Yep, okay, that's fine. And
21.
Darren? 21.
Glad someone's on it.
Oh, I've got a roll for Hubert. But
Oh yeah,
let's
Hubert.
just see what the knight here gets. Okay, he rolled that much, alright. And Hubert did not roll particularly well, but let's see. Hubert rolled a big fat 10.
Wow. Go
Well
Hubert.
done,
God.
Hubert.
Okay, so Darren, you're up first.
How wide's this bridge that he stood on?
4 feet.
Okay, can I angle myself around to the side a bit?
Yeah.
I just need to be within 120 feet, but so that a straight line doesn't include my friend on the bridge and would push him off the bridge if he got pushed off.
True. Okay.
And then I will cast Eldritch Blast.
Nice.
Because let's do the Warlock thing.
This is how you warlock.
So 2 beams. Because my level. One of those. What is my modifier? I don't know. 19 and more than that. I can do maths.
A
25.
19 does not hit. The 25 does.
Okay, 19 doesn't hit. Why are we fighting this man?
Because someone strode forwards and decided, no peaceful negotiation for crossing the bridge here.
Okay,
Yeah, that did happen.
9 something, force damage, and
I
he's
can get a
pushed
plus-
10 feet away.
Okay.
This might be a good moment to mention that I can get a plus 11 to my persuasion checks if I want.
Hilarious.
Maybe you can persuade him now. You know, you can do
No,
that.
I feel that ship has sailed.
Okay.
Yeah, push him 10 feet away from me.
He is pushed back, but not off his feet. He kind of
Not into the water?
Oh
I was
yeah.
angling it so he'd go into the water.
Okay. He falls into the water. Immediately resurfaces, and
Just normal water?
it appears to be normal water.
Good to know.
And he goes, "Aha! So it's like that, is it?" And he wades out of the water. It is his initiative up next, and I think actually the first person he was going to get to would have been Stuffy. So he swings his great sword at you.
Shit.
That is a that's 25 to hit.
God, Jesus, that hits. Who do you think I am?
Am I within 5 feet of Stuffy at this point? Like,
I'll say yes, but also
Okay.
he had a multi-attack. I think the next one misses though.
yeah, well, reaction. As my reaction, I slam the 2 dragon shield forwards, like, okay, this doesn't have to go to violence! So he gets disadvantage on that attack.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, the first attack then.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll have
Can
him
spend my reaction to grant protection.
Okay, does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
Right. Okay,
You're old
sorry
well.
about that.
That's
He's
alright.
going to. Is that disadvantage to attack anyone or just you?
It is a reaction to impose disadvantage on attack. I think it's on unattack. I'll just get the exact wording. Against an enemy within 5... against a target that is within 5 feet of me. I get the paladin. Get the paladin. Yeah, no. I can only do it. I can only do it on one attack roll. Yeah, I can only impose disadvantage on one. So the second one is normal.
Alright, the second one then will be directed at you, although I will roll damage for the first.
Yes, do, because I definitely take it.
That's 16 slashing damage.
Oh,
Ow. Shit.
And the next one shall
Would
be
use my
against...
extra.
That'd kill Celestia, basically.
that'll be against Fu. Okay, yeah, against Fu. He has disadvantage. Oh no, it's just on one
No,
attack.
just on the first one.
Okay, in which case then, that is a 21 to hit.
That does hit, yes.
Okay, he does 12 points of slashing damage. And that ting sound was it hitting the rum ration jig.
Oh,
Oh, cute.
okay. Sort of,
Yeah. And he says, "How about you?" Okay. Next up we have. Oh, it's Hubert. All right.
Go on, Hugh.
Yeah. He was always the favourite of his parents amongst his siblings, Hubert and Dubert. He is going to move forward with his shield up to try and form a small shield wall with Fu, and hit him with his mace, which you would all know looks a little bit like a skull.
Nice.
Because he's nothing if not on brand. Okay, that's a 21 to hit from him. He doesn't get a second attack, does he? He's
No,
not
clerics
that-
don't.
No, okay. Well, that's a 21, which does hit. So he does... that's 13 points of damage, and the knight has to make a wisdom saving throw. Which I think he passes. Yep, he just does. Alright, so that is 13 damage.
Oof.
Bludgeoning for the knight. And you see the mace sort of solidly impact his chest, and a tiny bit of blood trickles down from underneath the helmet.
Whoa.
All right. Next up, we have Stuffy.
Okay, so I say, no, have at you, bitch. And I take out my big fucking great club
Nice.
and I hit him in the face. And it's going to be twice, because I can attack twice as this character, which is hilarious. Okay,
Brilliant.
so that is 21 for the first one. I assume that
That
hits.
definitely hits. Yes.
Yay! Good. If it didn't, I'd be worried. Okay, so that is 7 points of damage for the first one.
7 points of damage. Okay, cool.
And then I'm going to hit him again. And that's a 24.
That definitely hits as well.
Yep. And that is 10 damage.
Okay.
Yeah. And oh shit, yeah. No, I'll do that next turn. Okay. And I'm gonna spend a key point because fuck
Nice.
it. So that's 8 key points. And I'm gonna do flurry of blows. So I'm gonna hit him twice. So I've hit him
Do
twice
it.
with my great club, and then I'm gonna kick up with all my legs and roundhouse him.
Nice.
So let's see what happens. Okay, that's a 22. I'm
That
rolling
hits.
well, Jesus. Okay, so for that one, it is a 6 points of damage,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna sort of keep turning round from the kick and punch him in the face with my other hand.
Nice. Momentum.
Yeah, and I don't know if that one will hit. That's a 17.
That does not hit.
Balls.
He does manage to just dodge out of the way of that one.
Boosh.
And
And then I'm going to, because of my drunk background, I can get the benefits of a disengage action when I use flurry of blows. So
Great.
I'm gonna fuck off behind the shield wall when I'm done.
alright. As you do, he goes, "Running away, are we?"
Yes.
Alright.
No.
I'll be back.
And so now it is Fu.
Okay, Fu is going to raising his shield like, please, there is no need for us to fight. Let us simply negotiate passage. While I'm saying that, I will keenly gaze at him and use my divine sense to determine whether he or anything else within 60 feet of me is, well, it might be 60, might be 30 feet of me, is celestial, fiend, or undead. Yep,
Okay.
60.
He is not any of those things.
Okay, that's fine. Well, that's my action.
Alright.
Just wanted to determine whether I should actually try, whether I should pursue with trying to offer quarter to this figure or not.
Alright.
Okay.
I think that takes
That's my turn. I basically, just holding the bridge, shield up. Like, please, we do not need to fight. Oath of peace.
Oh, but I think we do.
Okay, that's
That's
my
how this works.
I think that's
You're
probably
the
the end of the
worst.
round. Yeah.
We're back at the top of the round.
Okay. Is he blocking the bridge where he is at the moment?
Less so. You could possibly get to the opposite side of the bridge, but he would be within range of attacking you then.
Okay, in that case, I will first do the same thing again.
Okay.
Eldritch Blast and try and push him away. Send both beams at him as well, because there's no other
Right.
targets.
Pew pew.
Oh, one of those definitely misses. That's like a 15. And
Yep.
the other one was 23.
That hits.
Lovely. So that is 10 damage.
Okay.
Yep. And he moves 10 feet away from me.
Alright. He gets pushed back, and this time he kind of goes to one knee, but uses his sword to stand up once again and says, all together or one at a time, it's all the same to me.
I'm going to leg it across the bridge. I'm going to get as far as I can across the bridge. I've got 35 feet of movement.
Yep. Alright, next up we have him. So he is going to stride forward quite confidently, raise his great sword above his head, and attempts to slash out at Darren.
Ah! I'm going to hide behind the shield.
Okay. That is a
Darren,
22 to hit.
Darren, you've definitely passed beyond 5 feet of me, haven't you?
I think probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Then nope, nothing I can do.
With 35, definitely.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, when he hits me, I'm going to use a reaction. So
Okay, go on.
I'm going to cast Misty Escape. When I take damage, I turn invisible and teleport 60 feet away.
Okay, I'll take the damage.
I still take the damage. It's when I take damage, so the first
Right.
one. I've only got one of those per short rest. But
You take 15 points of slashing damage.
ow.
I shout, "You're the worst!" after you.
And I'm going to teleport across the water onto the other side somewhere.
Okay. And he goes, where the hell did you go? And he sort of looks around, thinking, alright, well that's you then! And he moves across to Fu.
Okay.
Alright, that's a 21 to hit.
That hits. Roll. Yeah. How much damage?
Alright, that's 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Fu is basically fine. He is just covered in fat and armor.
Okay.
Ow.
Alright, that's his go. So next up we have Hubert. And he is going to open up his arms, make a slashing motion across the front of him with his mace, and cast Inflict Wounds on,
Oh.
Love
on the
that
knight.
spell.
Yeah, so that's 3d6, I believe. Let's see. Piss poor damage, but yeah, he takes. For all the good that did, that was 4.
No.
Right. And after that, we have Stuffy.
How's he looking?
He's looking reasonably roughed up, actually.
Okay.
That inflict wounds, even though it didn't, for a large amount of damage potential, didn't do very much. You can see that he is bleeding now from various different points. There's a nasty gash in one of his arms, and there's still blood trickling from underneath his helmet.
I'm gonna go, oi, fucker, and I'm gonna hit him on the head with my club. Twice, because I can. Haha. Okay, sorry, I'm really enjoying this extra attack. I never play characters that have more than one attack. So that is 21.
That hits.
Yes, good. Good modifiers, because level 10. Haha. That is 11 for that one.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to take my club again and I'm going to swing it down into his stomach to try and knock the wind out of him.
Okay.
Okay, so that's an 18.
That does not hit.
Bollocks. Bugger.
But the first hit kind of caves in part of the helmet, and you see he kind of reflexively puts a hand up to it, and then you see him kind of swell a bit with frustration, and the helmet just sort of pops out again. And the music swells dramatically.
Yeah, it does, because Jason pressed a button. But how shitty is he looking? Like,
you can't really tell underneath the armor, but you've poured a lot of damage into him, so he can't be doing very well.
I'm going to spend another key point and do another flurry of blows. All the attacks. So yeah, I'm going to put my great club in my backpack in one swift motion and sort of do a palm strike to his chest kind of thing.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, so first one is... Oh, that's bollocks. That's a 13. That definitely doesn't hit.
Nope.
Different dice. And then I'm going to try and knee him in the balls, or where I think balls might be, or the vagina possibly, we don't know. Knee him in the genitalia.
Okay.
That's a natural one. Shit.
You knee yourself in the genitalia.
How?
I have no idea.
Physiologically, how?
You attempt to remember, he kind of dodges out of the way and it says, "Oh, not so bad when you without your big stick."
Very intimidating. I'm frightened.
Okay, it is now Foo's go.
Alright, then I pull out my black wooden truncheon with the little silver knobs and go, I didn't want to do this, but since you won't peacefully resolve this, I'm going to very gently tap him on the helmet and cast sleep.
Alright.
So
Wisdom save?
Nope.
Oh, it's to do with the amount of hit points he has, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sleep's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although this,
Target it so it doesn't hit anyone else.
yes, if I angle it specifically, it's not great. If he's got 7, unless he's down to 17 or less, I'm afraid that probably just didn't have an effect.
He does not, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Oh well, wasn't sure how down he was. But
He's obviously quite
quite
resilient.
resilient sort of fellow.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair enough. That's slight waste of a spell slot, but
Yep.
Yeah. After that, he goes, "Come on, you pansy!"
should have used calm emotions.
Just hit him, you fucker.
Okay. I have an oath to try and resolve things peacefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's back to the top of the round with Darren.
My invisibility wears off. How far away am I from everyone?
How far did the spell take you?
Up to 60 feet. And then I think he moved
up
again,
to 60
didn't he?
feet. I will say if you've moved the full 60 feet, then he is now 75 away from you.
Okay. Let's try this. I'm going to move a little bit closer to be 60 feet and try Toll the Dead.
Alright.
So it's a wisdom
Ooh.
save.
Wisdom, okay.
Yeah.
What's the DC?
16.
Ooh. He just fails.
Oh, good. So that's 2d12. I never get to roll d12s.
Hey, D12s never come out. How exciting.
That's really bad at one of them. 13.
Ugh.
13.
It's necrotic damage. I don't know if that makes a
Okay.
difference.
No, he doesn't have any resistances to that.
And then I'll back up another 20 feet.
13. Okay, you see the gash in his arm start to wither and atrophy, and his entire arm just falls off. And he sort of looks down at it. And
Didn't mean to do that. Oh well.
he wheels around trying to find the culprit, and has to make a perception check because he's wearing a helm. He
Oh,
does
he's like-
not see you.
I'm also like 75 feet away again.
What bastard did that?
No idea, mate. Didn't see.
Okay. Next up is Hubert. Okay. Hubert is going to... Yeah, he is going to... Actually, being as he's away now, he's going to just cast Sacred Flame.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the knight makes the save. So that's the end of his turn. Stuffy. Oh wait, no, the knight hasn't gone.
Yeah,
Oh.
that is true.
Okay. Okay, so the knight is going to attack Fu again. I'm afraid both of those hit. That is 16 points of slashing damage.
Okay. Fu just takes it.
Tanks it like a champ.
Fu has a lot of hit points.
Yeah. He's swinging this great sword, one-handed now, so he's very unwieldy with it. But even so, is managing to get some solid hits. Okay, so that was that. Hubert's already had his go, and it didn't really amount to much. So Stuffy.
Oh,
I would like to try and break his other arm with my club.
Okay.
cave it in.
Kill it with fire. Don't kill it with a club. 23.
23 hits.
Yay, good. Okay, oh shit, that's really good. And that's a 12 damage with that one.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try and hit him again with my club and take his legs out from under him, if I can.
Okay.
Because I want to do a Monty Python really badly.
We all do.
Shit, 16. That's not going to
16
hit.
does not hit.
Pooh!
Okay.
I think I'm going to save my key points as well.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
You do manage to. You hear something crack in his arm, but he still seems to have use of it, and says, "Right, I'll do you for that."
Nah, not if I do you first. I'm going to take a shot of vodka as a bonus action if you'll let me.
Okay, cool. All right, it is now Foo's go.
Fu's going to take the... Having gently tapped him on the head and that not working, Fu's just going to smack him on the arm with it.
Okay,
That would be a 24.
that hits.
Okay, and just to get... Because Fu is pissed off now, I'm burning a spell slot, and I'm smiting this as well.
Oh yeah. Okay, do
Ooh,
it.
what does that mean?
It means I get to add 2d8 damage at the cost of a level 1 spell slot. He's not undead or a fiend, which is really annoying, because
He
if
is
he
not.
was, I have so many bonuses against things.
Brilliant.
Respectable. 16 points of damage, of which 10, I believe, of which 9 is radiant.
Okay. He's still kind of has hold of his sword, but you can now see that his arm is bent backwards the wrong way, and he is just having to kind of like use his entire body weight to swing the sword at you rather than being able to direct it in any meaningful way.
Okay, second attack. 20. 4 points of damage. Same arm.
That hits 4 points of damage. Fu, that's your go. We're back to the top of the round with Darren.
Okay, I guess I will do the same thing again, and I'll do an Eldritch Blast again, and I will aim one at each leg, because I am within 120 feet, so that's fine.
Alright, fine.
One of them's a natural 20, but the other's like a 15.
Okay, the natural 20 definitely hits, obviously. The 15 does not.
It's only 4 on the dice, so that's 8. And I've got a thing, so I get my modifier, so that's 12. 12 force damage, and he's pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay, I'm going to say that he is not... Okay, that knocks him prone. One of his legs flies off and lands. He now has a left arm and a right leg. He is attempting very judgerly to get to his feet, and he turns around and he does see you this time. He goes, "Is that all you got?"
I'm going to back up another 35 feet.
You haven't done this all day. He is bleeding profusely from at least 3 places now.
I say to him, "Give up, friend. It's clear you're losing."
I'm invincible! Okay.
I am kind of inclined to believe that, given his current state.
Okay. He using his sword basically now as a walking stick. He is hopping towards you. I think the closest one to him is Stuffy.
Probably me. Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
Stuffy.
I just hit him. I didn't move away.
And he's hopping up and down, and eventually starts pirouetting in midair, trying to slash you with this sword.
Friend, this is embarrassing. Please stop.
Okay. Oh, where did that go? Oh, does an 18 hit you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, he's like, I know we're all within melee range of him, so I'm gonna smack my shield in front again and use a reaction to impose disadvantage.
Okay. The second one was better, but like the 18, I rolled the damage. That's 5 slashing damage.
Okay.
He's just like pirouetting in midair, trying to go down, damn it! I always triumph. Okay, so that's his go. Next up is Hubert. Okay, Hubert is going to cast Hold Person on him.
So he is a person.
Alright, that's... Oh, he has to make a wisdom save, doesn't he? Versus 16? No, he fails. He is... Okay, he's pirouetting in midair, and then suddenly he just lands rooted to the spot. From inside his helmet, you can hear... And Hubert says, "It should be a little bit easier now." And Stuffy, it is your go.
Okay. Where's his severed leg?
It fell into the stream.
I want it. I'm going to pick it up and hit him with it.
Okay. You go over to the stream. How much movement do you have?
45 feet. Loads.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah. You are able to
this
go
is
in
not
lodge,
peaceful behaviour.
It is lodged between the rock, still like upright.
Okay.
The water going around it.
I guess I'm going to treat it as an unarmed strike because I feel like that's fair. I am technically hitting him with a part of somebody's
weapon,
body.
So I might give you a D4. But anyway, you're a monk anyway, so
I get a
your
D6.
unarmed strike is yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, unarmed strike then.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna smack him in the face with his severed leg.
Okay.
Natural 20!
Oh, wait, we're probably grundling this one then, are we?
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna roll damage for that, and I get cool shit because I'm an orc. Okay, so that is 7 initial, and then I actually get to roll the damage dice again because orc stuff. So that's... Oh god, what's 7 plus 6? Maths, help me.
13.
14?
13.
13. 13 damage.
Okay,
It's a bit shit,
not...
but it's funny, so fuck it.
Alright, you hit him soundly off his foot with his other foot. He lands splayed on the ground. You can tell that he's still just vaguely alive, or so it would seem, but that he's bowled over like a cricket stump, basically.
I would like to step over him to cross the bridge and step on him while I'm doing it.
I've just got to double check if that means he gets a saving throw against the whole person.
Good question. I'm not sure it does.
I think
it's just on his turn. It's
Yeah,
on
it's
his
on his turn.
Alright.
Yeah, I think so.
So, Fu.
Okay. I'd like to reach down and disarm him.
Do you mean remove an arm or remove his weapon?
I'm really not sure at this
would
stage.
almost be synonymous at this point, but he has a death grip on his sword.
He has a death grip on his sword. Okay, in which case, yeah, I'm going to try and pull the sword out of his hand, and there's an even chance I might pull the sword, the hand off.
Okay, make an athletics check. Well,
Okay.
I'd say with advantage, because literally all he
Because
has
he's
is
paralysed.
Yeah.
18.
Alright, yeah, you hear a kind of ripping noise as you grab hold of the hilt of his sword, and his entire arm comes away at the elbow. You now have a greatsword, albeit with an arm attached. And Hubert says, are you going to keep the arm? And from the interior of the helmet, you hear.
Sorry, what was that?
We're back to the top of the round with Darren.
Right,
I'm going to take the arm away from him.
Okay.
He's still held, isn't he? Does that give me advantage on attacks?
Yes, it does.
And then being prone gives me disadvantage.
Depends if you're shooting at him or attempting to stab him.
Well, I'm like 100 feet away.
Okay,
At this
so
point.
yeah.
ranged. Yeah,
I'm
okay.
quite a distance, and I'm not coming back.
So essentially, what you have is a straight roll here.
Yeah, so I will send to Eldritch Blasters him because that's the only thing I can do without moving closer.
All right.
Not doing that. Those both miss.
Really?
Yeah, I rolled a 3 and an 8, so that's
Okay.
Wow.
yeah, they do.
11 and a 15.
Whoopsie daisy.
16.
Okay. So he has one chance and one chance only to try and save against this whole person.
I've got luck. Why did I? Never mind.
Okay, he rolled a. Yeah, he just manages to shake it off. He rolled a 16, which is exactly what he needs. Okay, so
Does he save at the beginning or end of his turn?
actually that's the
Classically,
point.
it's
He
end.
can't. He what?
It's classically end for old person, I think.
Yeah, he can't do anything else.
Yep, and lovely.
Yeah, and all right. So we're up. Next up is Hubert again. Hubert is going to. Actually, he's just going to wander up and attempt to break off the other leg because that seems to be, it seems to be a dismemberment party here, and he's feeling left out.
Aw, poor Hubert.
Hubert wants some souvenir.
Yeah. Well, he just asked you, are you going to keep the arm? Oh, but he rolled a natural one.
Oh.
Hubert.
He
pulls off his own
he
arm.
goes to try and break off the leg and ends up hitting the knight in the balls. But unfortunately, it seems like this knight has a rather stable codpiece.
Oh.
Ow.
Next up, we have Stuffy.
I mean, is he like still alive?
He is just alive, yes. He is now bleeding from at least 5 different points.
Okay.
3 of which are limbs.
Does he have any limbs left?
He has 1 leg left.
Okay. I mean, who? I'm gonna give that a smack with my great club and see if anything happens. Because fuck it, that's why. Ah, shit. That definitely won't work. That will be a 15.
A 15 does not hit, I'm afraid.
Okay, I'm gonna give it another whack. I want it to fall off because it's funny. That's terrible. It's a 13. Nope.
Unfortunately, that doesn't hit either.
His leg is very
he's writhing
stubbornly
around
on.
on the ground now, desperately trying to do a little cha-cha with one leg.
As a bonus action, I'm going to take a shot of vodka and spit it in his face.
Okay. It sort of splatters across his helm and runs down. Next up, then, we have Fu.
Okay. I don't really want to spend a spell on this. Okay.
It's interesting. None of you have edged weapons.
Yeah.
I do. I don't get in range of people very often.
Okay.
I mean, I have one edged weapon. I just don't want to use it. I have one edged weapon now.
Yeah, you do.
I'm
I
going
think I've got a
to.
scimitar.
Okay, I'm going to hold a single point of lay on hands for after someone takes his leg off, so that
Okay.
he doesn't bleed to death.
All right.
That's my action. Just holding action.
All right. That will bring us back to Darren.
I guess I'll shoot him again because I am not coming closer. He's still
Okay.
prone, isn't he?
He is.
And he's not held anymore.
He is not.
So it's
Ooh,
just it's
double
disadvantage
disadvantage.
now. Ah. Okay. Is there anything else I can do? There really isn't. So I guess we're taking the disadvantage.
Yep.
This'll go well. Or I could do a spell. Nothing's. Everything else isn't. I'd have to get closer, and I'm just not doing it.
This would have killed any normal person at this point. He is nearly dead, but
He's
Yeah.
hardcore, man.
yeah.
So that first one was a 6
Nope.
and a 1, which I'm gonna use luck because.
Okay. Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
That's still only like an 8.
It shoots over
No,
the top
no.
of him,
More than that. Not good though.
and he says, "You're too dangerous if you can shoot straight." All right. And now it is his go. He is going to. He is going to attempt to get to his foot. He sits up. He obviously has tremendous core strength. And,
Yes.
Clearly.
leans forwards and starts hopping about on his one remaining leg. He attempts to headbutt. I'm going to say, Fu, because you're both right next
Yep.
to him at this point.
Yeah. Hilariously, like, I have so many abilities which give him disadvantage if he attacks anyone other than me. And I've just been his continuous focus. So I was like, please stop.
He attempts to headbutt you, and fails. But I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
28.
Nice.
And it was a natural 20.
Okay. He said, "You know I've had people bigger than you." All right. That's his go. Next up, we have Hubert, who is just going to try and cast Sacred Flame on him at this point, because fuck it.
Just burn the remaining one off.
No, he saves against that. So,
Back to Fluffy.
Stuffy.
Stuffy even.
I'm gonna try.
You still got his
Take-
leg, haven't you?
I have got his leg. I'm gonna try and take my great club and sort of like snooker cue him in the face, if that makes any sense to anyone.
Okay,
like tap the
yeah,
end
yeah.
and try and like knock him over.
Yep.
Okay. Phew. Oh, that's really good. It's 27. Yes.
That definitely hits.
Now we're rolling real people numbers. Okay. That is an 8 with that one.
Okay.
And then I am going to I'm gonna try and hit him again in the face with said great club. So I've snooker cued him once. I'm gonna whip around and just try and knock him over with it. Nope, that's 12, so that's not gonna hit. Definitely
12
not.
does not hit, I'm afraid.
Pooh. Is it worth another key point? What do we think? Nah, I'm going to leave my key points, I think, for a bit later.
Do you get them back on a short or long rest?
I think
Short,
it's
I
long.
believe.
Oh, is it short? Oh, fuck it then. Okay, let's do this. Another key point. Flurry of blows. Hit him lots. So I'm going to knee him in the balls.
Okay.
With my knee. Okay, that's a 20.
That just hits.
Way
Ooh.
good, lovely. Okay, so I need a D6. There we go. That's a 9.
Okay, you knee him in the bollocks, and there is a satisfyingly meaty
Oh,
Oh.
Did I pop something? Oh, I hope not.
and
Oh dear.
he goes,
Oh shit. Brilliant. Right, I'm gonna hit him again.
he's dead.
Oh!
Ellie, you killed him. Describe how.
Thank God I killed him. Right. So I like to think that I've just kneed him in the balls, right?
Yes.
And then
Satisfyingly meaty sort of
I
noise.
elbow him in the stomach afterwards. So I sort of come up and then just ram my elbow, and I like to think that my elbow goes all the way through him,
It does.
and I have to sort of push him off the end of my elbow on which he is impaled,
I
and
don't think
then
at one point a lay of hands is going to do much.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
And
actually.
then I take a shot of vodka from my half rat skull and I spit it into the hole inside him.
With his dying gasp, he goes, "Alright, we'll call it a draw." And he collapses to the side. Although it's the strangest thing, as he falls, his helmet rolls off and down the way, and there is no head on his shoulders. And then you see his armor starts to just fold up like there's nothing inside it.
How strange.
I'm going to slowly move back towards the bridge.
I checked the other.
Bloody miles away that I am.
I take a glance over at the disembodied leg, which Stuffy is holding.
Yeah.
I'm weighing it to decide whether it would be a good bludgeoning weapon or not.
It seems serviceable, although it has this awkward bend in the middle where the knee joint is.
So
Is
there's.
there a leg in the armour, or is it just the armour?
You what?
Is there actually a leg in there still?
Oh yeah, there's still a recognisable humanoid leg.
Okay.
So just no head.
In a way, that's creepier.
Yeah, that's much more.
So I'm
Well,
gonna peer into the neck hole and see, and there's just nothing inside the torso either now, is there?
It just appears to be empty mail.
So what are we
Although
fighting?
it's very nicely made mail, and you have some pauldrons and greaves and vein braces, but oddly enough, the only thing that seems to physically survive of this being, whatever it was, were the limbs that you severed from it. They appear to be just perfectly normal humanoid arms or legs in the case of Stuffy.
So were we fighting a pair of fucking legs in a suit?
I'm gonna say yes, and let's leave it at that. It's weird. Let's move on.
Just
Let's not
checking,
start.
I am far too fat for this armour, right?
You could probably get your head into the helmet. The rest of the armor, like the vein braces, the greaves, might fit you. You'd probably need to get the torso part altered.
Nah, not enough for an improvement to my armour class then. I'm just going to leave it be then.
Well, actually, make an insight check.
Okay. That would be a natural 1.
That.
Okay. All right. The helmet is. It's got to be magical. There's no way about it. Like how you. It's a helmet of disappearing. Obviously, that's what it is.
I carefully remove my own helmet, revealing my bald scalp. So it's this lovely open-faced classical helmet. Pick up the Black Knight's helm, pop it on my head. Am I now invisible?
Yes.
Yes, they can't fucking see you.
Okay, I'm going to make another insight check.
I'll make a deception
I'll make a deception check as well.
That was another natural 1.
10. Ha, fucking
Oh my god!
Fantastic.
Okay.
Where has he gone?
I cannot see him anywhere.
Oh no! Now we have
It is
to
all
fight
right,
just
my
us three.
friends. I am right here.
Oh goodness, what a hero!
We are saved.
I suppose I should actually be rolling for
Hubert.
for Hubert as well on this one. Okay, hang on. Okay, no, it's
I mean, he has to beat a natural 1.
yeah. It says, yes, I definitely cannot see your face anymore.
Strictly accurate. It's a full-face vaza.
Hubert is a truthful person.
Very well, then. Let us...
You do get the impression, though, Foe, that this is genuinely some kind of magical item.
I know, it's a helm of disappearing.
Yeah, you will need to attune to it to fully harness its properties. But yeah,
I might suggest once we reach the entrance to this tomb, we take a moment to eat and rest.
Yes, I
Before we
agree.
proceed.
I walk into him. Harder than
Ah!
necessary.
No,
Oh,
no, I'm here.
Sorry,
Listen to where
I
my
can't
voice
see
is.
you. I elbow him in the face.
Maybe we should put something over the top of you so that we can tell where you are.
Ah,
And,
yes.
Just
That would
get
make
a
you look
bag
like a
out and put a
ghost.
bag on his head.
Yeah, like a sheet or something.
No, 1 moment. I adjust it so that the bag is now it's like, I pull the bag up so that I can see out of it, but it's still resting on my head. Can you? Is the bag also invisible, or can you see it now?
Weirdly, the bag is visible.
The bag is visible.
Fantastic.
Maybe you'll have to wear it.
Okay,
You're quite an intimidating sight, though.
that's
Floating
fine.
bag.
Okay,
Yes.
floating bag. Good. I can work with this.
There are advantages sometimes to concealing one's features.
Yes.
Right. Moving on.
Let's eat.
Let's find the entrance.
Yeah, find the entrance and
not
then
go in.
not
Yes.
go in and eat and,
And
rest.
have a short
And
rest.
give me a chance to spend some hit dice.
I get
'Cause-
things that aren't hit dice on a short rest. I get key points back. 'Cause I'm
Ooh.
a monk. I never get anything back that isn't hit
I have
dice
to
on a
recover
short rest.
35 hit points from somewhere, so I really want to sit down
I
and take short
can
rest.
do some spells.
Yeah, I can do lay on hands,
Before we
but if we're gonna, if there's a rest
Mine
coming
come
up.
back on a short rest.
Oh, fantastic.
So good. Oh my
That's-
god.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I've only got 2, but I've got 2 spells that I can use before we short rest.
great.
Do it.
Fantastic.
If you
Love
want.
it.
Yeah,
Are we short resting?
Yeah.
The entrance.
yeah,
Shall
we're
I-
gonna find the
Alright,
entrance and then
I'll
short
just-
rest.
I'll describe the next bit. You make your way up the path, having no real concept of what it was you just faced at that clapper bridge, but The path widens out slightly as you approach the... there is a mound at the top of this hill. At the top of the mound, you can see a number of what look like menhirs or standing stones, all roughly hewn out of a shiny black rock. At the base of this mound, you can see there is another far more obviously carved and engineered stone. It appears to be an obelisk. You would guess weighing maybe 3 tons, but it is balanced perfectly on a point which is pyramid shaped. And it is balanced on another smaller obelisk which is also pyramid shaped. And it seems to defy physics how it's just standing perfectly upright and balanced on the tiniest little point. There must be 3 tons worth of pressure on a point which is, no larger than a grain of rice. You can see behind it there are what appear to be 2 holes in the mound and one much larger indentation in the middle of these holes. These holes are about 25-30 feet apart, and the indentation is in the middle of them.
Does it make a skull shape?
Does what make a skull shape?
The position of these 2 holes and the thing. I'm just imagining like 2 holes
Like
and
Skull
a no
Rock in
skull.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, I'm literally imagining Skull Rock.
Not quite.
Okay.
Although, make an investigation check.
Can I help?
Yes.
Are we all doing it?
Yeah. If you're just observing the area that surrounds you. Yeah.
18.
Oh, bollocks. 7.
The obelisk down where you are at the base of the mound, and the holes do not appear to form a skull. Although, interestingly, you look up at the more rough rocks at the top of the mound, and they do appear to be positioned in such a way that they might, if viewed from above, look like a skull.
I feel we're in the right place.
There's a big fucking marker, isn't there?
Excellent. I shall produce. It is. Then let's just take a rest. I unpack from my backpack the patterned tea rug that I always keep as part of my kit. Bring out a small tea set, a little oil burner, and just set up classic sort of Haldanic tea.
All right.
I like
One
to.
thing
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off. You go first.
No, it's okay. I was going to say, one thing that you would also notice is that the obelisk that is down near where you are looks perfectly smooth and clean, whereas the ones up on top of the mound look like they've got a small layer of green and there's bits of lichen over them.
But still, like, impossibly balanced.
Yeah, no, the ones up on top of the mound, they're just stuck in the earth.
Okay,
whereas
but
this one down whereby you are, it looks impossibly balanced. Like, it's hundreds of kilograms of a very obviously dense rock.
I really want to do something bad.
I once knew a sage who would.
I'm going to hit it with my great club,
like,
but there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm going to.
You sure?
I'm
Yes.
going to try and stop her from desecrating a work of art. because I
All
feel
right.
like this falls within the list of things.
I just
That,
want to see what happens. I want to see if it will balance still.
yeah.
I'm gonna wait and see if she manages to hit it.
Do you mind if I try and beat you on an initiative check to see?
Yeah,
if I
I'm
can
going to say
Yeah, I
both
guess
roll
so.
initiative for this.
12.
14.
I'm just not
Fuck
quite
you.
fast enough.
Okay, so I guess I do a great club attack.
Yes.
Okay. So that is 25.
25
Yes.
on an inanimate object.
Yep.
Yep, that'll hit.
I
Okay,
don't know
roll
if
for
it
damage.
stays up.
What? Roll for damage.
Okay, that's an 8.
An 8. Alright, 1 second. I have to.
Oh no,
Double
I've done a
check
bad
something.
thing, haven't I?
What did you do?
No, and why did you?
Terrible.
And of course you did it before the short rest.
Yeah, bad
Okay,
idea.
the obelisk slowly, ever so slowly, starts to list. To
I'm
one
going
side.
to try and stop it. I'm going to try.
You know, oh, okay. You're going to try and all right.
Yeah.
Make a strength saving throw with disadvantage,
Okay.
unless you are being aided by anyone else.
Don't think anyone else is
Nah, I'm
aiding
gonna
me.
take a shot of vodka.
No, realistically, no.
No, Hubert is not in
22.
a position to help. Oh, 22. You managed
I
to
rolled
slow
2 18s.
its descent. You managed to slow its descent.
1 moment, there
but
might be
it does
something I can use.
eventually
No,
crash.
I can use magic, I think, to assist me here.
Okay, what are you going to do?
It depends. I just need to check a
Jason's
spell
so pissed
thing.
off with me right now.
I
He's fucking raging. It's brilliant.
you desecrated an art object.
If you
Get
get
out of
crushed
the
and
way.
die, this will be the best thing ever.
It'll be all my fault. That's what it'll be.
It'll be hilarious or whatever you do.
If just one of you dies, like irretrievably dies, then I will give you Hubert to roleplay.
Aw.
Okay, oh fuck, actually, sorry. Nope. I was not paying attention. That was a 24.
Alright.
All my saves are actually at +2, which I forgot about.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that's a 24, if that makes any difference.
Probably not at that point.
Yeah, you,
not.
like I say, you were able to slow its descent, but you cannot prevent it. Are you attempting to do anything magical?
It's leafy
I am literally seeing whether I have any spells that could affect here. No, granting my... No, that won't help. Fuck. Sanctuary doesn't work against an inanimate object.
Do you have enhanceability, maybe?
You know, funnily enough, no, that's one of the ones I don't. Smite would not assist in this situation.
It really wouldn't. That's kind of what's already happened to it.
Yeah.
Alright.
No, okay, I think I'm going to try... Apparently I'm doing my best, but as soon as it becomes apparent that no one else is helping, and this thing is already just going to crush me, I am forced...
I'd like to pull him out by the scruff of the neck.
Oh, sure, the strongest character doesn't want... won't assist me trying to keep the damn thing up. Yeah, fine.
You're going to be crushed.
Yeah,
It's-
I guess I
And
try
I
and
eat
get
out.
it, so I feel like it would be a bit stupid for me.
Right.
Can I pull him out?
Yeah, I will say make a grapple check. If you wish to fail this grapple check, you may.
I mean, I want to get him out.
So, I got an
Yeah, so
athletics check,
athletics.
yeah.
Athletics, okay. Okay, that's really good. That's a 24.
Okay.
This dice is being
You-
kind to me.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to try and resist?
No, I don't want to be crushed.
Okay, right. Vroom. You immediately move him out of the way. He's kind of at the side of this obelisk as it slowly falls, and he's like guiding and directing it. But as it hits the ground, the middle part cracks, and immediately fire starts to erupt out of the crack.
Oh shit.
And the fire shoots up into the air and coalesces into the form of what looks to be a giant ape of some kind.
Fire ape.
You
Fire rate.
fucking
Well done.
moron.
I wanted to see if it would
It
balance.
has blue skin, piercing, burning red eyes, and kind of reddish, orangish fur.
You couldn't have done this after tea.
I like
You
to
could
think you've
not
still
have done
got-
this after tea.
I like to think you've still got like a teacup in one hand without your little finger in the air. Could have done this after tea.
It has 2 orc-like tusks on its bottom jaw, also multiple lip piercings, and
Wow.
2 large metal bands around its wrists, like it's not bound, but like it's a sign of office almost. And it starts speaking very animatedly at you. Do any of you speak Abyssal?
No.
Ah,
No.
I chose Infernal instead of Abyssal.
Right, I'm just going to check if Hubert does.
This is the stupidest thing
He
I've done
does!
in D&D for
Oh, thank God
ages,
someone
guys.
does.
Okay.
I've not done anything this stupid in a really long time, and I've been playing Celestia. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. Okay. He does speak Abyssal.
Woo!
So the this giant ape, and it is like maybe 10 feet, 12 feet tall, and almost as wide. It's starting to go, and then Hubert says, and he says to the rest of you, this gentleman appears to be rather annoyed that we have released him before his proper time. He will not take our lives as forfeit, however. He merely has stated that the one who was responsible for freeing him will be henceforth bound to him until such a time as he sees fit. No less than 4 or 5 centuries.
I would like to rage.
Okay.
Can you rage?
I am not a barbarian. I would like to rage.
You would just like to. That's...
This is like properly just like at this point, Foe just starts screaming. He pulls the black wooden club from his belt. He's just screaming at Scruffy. Ah! Turns and I'm attacking the fucking demon thing.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
You're not attacking me. I thought you were going to attack me.
I was going to say, all of you roll a religion check.
Okay.
23.
18.
23. 18.
I have rolled so many
16.
17s in the last, 5
I'm
minutes.
going to roll for Hubert. He speaks the language. He does not know what he's talking to.
23.
23. Okay.
Yeah,
with
I got a
23,
17.
Okay.
16.
Yeah, you're all pretty sure you've heard of this, but with a 23, you've seen one before. This is a Bulgara demon.
Oh, that's a good word.
It is only apparently, it is a demon, not a devil. But what essentially that means for you is that devils can, and in fact are mandated to be lawful. They can be evil, but they have to work within a structure of law. They can make deals and pacts and arrangements. Demons are not bound by such arrangements whatsoever. He is making a proposition to you. He has absolutely
Yeah.
real reason to fulfill other than honor.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, have you hit him already?
Yeah, no, knowing that, I'm not going to stop I'm not stopping. I am...
mean,
Okay.
will you allow me to use deflect missiles to get him to, not hit the thing, or is that, completely the wrong use of
Deflect
deflect
missiles
missiles?
is usually reserved for when
Arrows,
you are hit
isn't
with
it?
a ranged weapon.
Also, I'm so not using a ranged weapon.
Yeah, true.
Alright,
Yeah.
everybody roll initiative then, please.
Fuck's sake.
You desecrated an art object!
You hit him, I'm blaming you. Oh, that's a 1.
16.
6!
Okay, 1 second.
I
So,
wrote initiative down. I'm not the DM. I'm not keeping track of initiative. I don't need to.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
if
just
you want.
you can
but-
just play.
Okay, that's 16 for Darren, 6 for Foe, and how much, sorry, for Stuffy?
1. I mean, technically 4,
One.
if that matters.
Yeah, it would be.
Cool.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, I'm going to say because you actually genuinely rolled a natural 1 that you will go secondary, but you tied in initiative with the Bulgara demon.
Oh, but yeah, I rolled a 1, so that seems fair.
okay.
Yeah.
Got to roll for Hubert.
Hubert.
Oh my goodness. Right, okay.
Maybe Hubert will
Hubert
save
has
us
got
all.
a 21. So Hubert is going first.
I did something bad.
You made a mess.
I did.
Okay.
Now I'm thinking about
Um,
Scamp's playlist.
Right. Which of you is currently on the lowest hit points?
I'm on 37.
Um,
He'd be able to
48.
tell this, but sorry, 48? Okay, right. And
69! And I'm down. And that's being currently down 35.
Okay, so I'm the lowest.
alright. He taps you on the shoulder and you feel a burst of energy shoot through you. He casts Death Ward on you
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
and says, stick and move, stick and move. And that's all he can do, because that is a full action to cast that.
I mean,
alright,
I'll take it. Brilliant.
Next up, we have Darren.
Does with the religion check I made before, do I know if this counts as a monster?
It counts as a demon.
There's
It's a
fiend.
fiend.
Does,
Yes, it
but
is a
for
fiend.
For the effect of, say, charm monster.
Yes, it would work.
Okay, are we technically in combat if no one's yet thrown a punch?
Yes, it is. Well, I mean, yes, because Foe was threatening it. It's just a case of who's acting first. So yeah, we are functionally in combat.
Okay, so it has advantage on what saving throws. Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. I'll cast charm monster.
Okay, so it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Right. With advantage.
Yeah.
This would be so good if it works.
It won't.
Okay, what is your spell save DC?
16.
It fails.
Woo! That was so unlikely.
It rolled a 12.
It's still up in the air, is it? I'm just gonna tell it to go away.
It's not up in the air. It's like standing atop the
Oh, okay.
shattered obelisk.
Right. Oh, misremembered. Okay.
No, it's like the fire shot out, and the fire coalesced into the form of this Bulgara demon.
And I'm gonna shout, it's friendly now, no one touch it!
Right.
Okay. Does anyone?
Am I next?
Yes. Foe is up next.
Oh, very well then. If you will offer a surrender, if you will offer a ceasefire, then I am prepared to accept it in the name of the Master of Hongguao.
It says to you.
I glance over to Hubert.
I quite agree, I say.
Well said.
He says, his dialect is something difficult to place, but I think he is broadly accepting of your terms.
It occurs to me that
important mechanical question here.
Yeah.
Does the charm mean that it cannot take actions of its own volition?
No, it just means it's friendly to us.
Alright.
For an hour.
It turns around, faces the mound, and it points one sort of shaggy finger towards the opening, or actually not to the openings, but you see the indentation in the middle of it, and flames wreathe it, burning away the vegetation. And you see in front of you there are two heavy stone doors. Now, nestled amongst these two just holes that lead in, there are two heavy stone doors with a number of skeletal motifs on them. There does not appear to be any visible hinges, but they definitely appear to be doors. You can see the tiniest of partings in the middle of them. These doors are huge. They are easily 8 to 10 feet tall and made out of stone.
Right. That was maybe not my best move.
We've only got an hour of this till he knows what I did. So,
Right. Should we,
Good sir.
creepy cleric man,
Okay.
can you ask him to take a letter to the town for us? Because that just keeps him walking away for an hour.
Wait. So, sorry, he's going to revert to his normal behaviour in an hour.
Yeah.
Please
Are you
don't
concealing
send.
this,
It's like
conversation?
quietly having this very quietly. So you're telling me that you want to send him into a densely populated area, whereupon
We're
he will
more than
revert
an
to its
hour away,
natural.
aren't we?
Yeah, you've been walking for at least 2 hours.
So you
If
want
we
to
run out
send him
halfway, at
towards
which
a
point
densely
he'll come
populated.
back.
He'll come back and be pissed off, so we'll at least have had 2-hour head start.
Can I make a? I don't know if this would be like a history or geography or nature check or something to try and figure out, based on where we are on the map, the direction that has the least people in it.
Okay. I think it would have to be an insight check unless you have like navigator's tools or something like that.
Fine.
Or cartographer's tools.
Dirty 20 regardless.
Dirty 20. All right. You think probably the furthest you'd have to travel in any direction before you actually hit something populated would be where you came, where the former residents of the stone giants you were negotiating a peace with about some time ago.
Right.
The stone giants in question are definitely not at war with Hogwarts anymore, owing to the fact that the stone giants in question are no longer living.
If you're going to have him deliver a message, have him deliver it over to that giant, to that stone giant lair.
Maybe the stone giants will kill him.
I think you already did that.
There are no stone giants left.
Oh, those stone giants. Oh yes.
Yes, the ones we were supposed to negotiate a peace treaty with.
That's
I'm just
peaceful.
going to scribble on a piece of paper something like, buy eggs, and then...
That's adorable.
Okay. So
Tell him to go quickly as well, because then he'll get really far.
as fast as you can, mate.
All right. I'll say for the sake of simplicity that Hubert translates this.
Yeah.
And the Bulgarian kind of scratches its head a little bit in obviously like simian confusion, and then snatches the piece of paper out your hand and starts striding confidently off, like down the path. Boom, 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 boom. You can see off in the distance he walks across the bridge, like steps on the on the knight's discarded armor, essentially, and just drives it into the ground. Boom, 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 and you hear the sound of its footsteps slowly recede.
As we watch it disappear, I look down at the shattered obelisk, shake my head and sigh. Well then, now let's all have some tea.
Yes. Why not?
Right.
While you're having tea,
I get a dead rat out of my bag and bite into it.
Okay.
And then when I'm done eating it, I make another rat skull shot glass.
Nice.
Boom.
I'm going to spend some hit dice now.
I'm going to spend some hit dice as well.
Who's hurting most?
I mean, I've lost. How many? How far below your hit?
I've lost 21.
I've
I
lost-
am on less hit points than you.
True.
But
So it's probably more of a priority.
up to you.
Guys, that could have gone so much worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one of the stupidest things I've done in D&D.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I love it so
love it.
much.
I just some part of my brain went, this is a one shot and I want to, so I did.
Yep.
And then was
Yep.
like,
Do it.
and then you know how you have the other part of your brain that's like, what did you do? Why are you like this?
What did you do? What did you do?
I cast Cure Wounds on Stuffy.
Okay.
Yay! Thank
Roll.
you.
That is... ooh, that's really good. 23.
Thank you. That's fit. That gets me all the way up to full. Nice.
I only have 4th level spells.
Okay, that's both your spells used. I'll use another one of those, and that puts me. Okay, I'm back up to 101. That's fine.
Way, that's good.
That's my 5 out of 10 hit dice spent there.
Okay, I'm going to roll some dice.
I spit on the desecrated art object.
Okay.
I draw upon all my training of pacifism and restraint not to deck you there and then.
I'll look at
As
you
you-
while I'm doing it.
As you spit on it, the still hot stone causes the spittle to just flash fry.
Ah. I do it again and watch it happen. It looks awesome.
You do it again, and because of the sudden change in temperature, part of the the stone structure explodes. Not enough to do you any damage, but it's like.
Please stop that.
It looks interesting. It bubbles. It's fine.
This is why I cannot take you to anything nice.
I am very nice. I have a bite of my rat.
Okay.
You have a very calming tea.
All right. I believe a short rest is an hour, so.
Spell's done, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
You now have in front of you 2 holes and a set of stone double doors. What would you like to do?
Is this thing trapped? Are we gonna die horribly?
I would like to investigate the stone doors for traps.
All right.
Can I help?
Please do.
Yeah, I'll say if you lend. If you're assisting, then make an investigation check with advantage.
I have no idea if your investigation is better than mine.
It's might well be.
Well, fortunately that advantage made that natural 20. So
Great.
Okay.
Which makes it what total?
21.
Right, I'm doing investigation. Metagaming. Please continue.
All right. You don't think it is trapped, but there is no visible keyhole or other means of ingress other than just pushing the door open, it would seem.
I would kick it open.
I'm going to stand well back.
Make an athletics check.
I take the sack off my head so that I'm now invisible.
Okay.
By the way,
Oh, goodness,
I spent an hour attuning to this totally magical helmet.
That's
Right,
definitely
okay.
cocked.
The helmet increases your AC by 1.
Oh, it is actually magical.
Yeah.
You probably won't know
however-
this in character. You
Yeah.
just think you're invisible.
Yeah. However, when you try and take it off again, if you do attempt to take it off at any time, you don't seem to be able to.
Aha, excellent.
Oh,
I
dear.
haven't tried to take it off yet.
Okay,
So-
that's fine.
Okay.
Also, if there's something else, but it's situational. So yeah, all you know for now is you feel a lot more protected in here, and
Of course I do. I'm invisible.
yeah, and also even if you were hit, you're just that much more ready to tank it if you need to.
Okay.
So I got a 23 on my athletics.
You kick one of the stone doors,
High kick
and
it.
it creaks open. Like, it's thick. You kicked it very hard, and beyond you can see there is a long corridor, about as wide at least as the doors that precede it. As you do, torches begin to ignite on either side. At the end of the corridor, you can see what looks like either a large statue or a mosaic, but it's too far off, and you're kind of looking through a gap in a door at it to really get a good idea of what its dimensions or its description is. Although it does look to be just mainly a large head or a bust of some kind.
I guess we walk in.
I'm going to ask Ivan if it's alive.
Okay.
I don't know if he'd know, but he might know.
Ivan says, "Well, I could go and see. Doesn't look like it. Hold on." And he flies all the way down the corridor. He becomes like a pinprick off in the distance to you, and you see this little pinprick of light zip from one side to the other, to the other, to the other. I guess I'm going to make an investigation check for him.
He has a +2 to investigation.
Okay. Comes back. No, it just looks like an ugly face, really.
It's not alive. I
Yeah.
don't know if
No,
that's
don't think
helpful.
so.
Very well then. Since I'm invisible, I shall scout ahead.
Okay.
Please
Great,
do.
you do that.
I stride confidently ahead, looking for hidden foes.
I watch him
Alright.
and snigger and take a shot of vodka.
I'm going to try and be a little bit stealthy, but I'm not very good at it, so it's probably...
I don't need to make a stealth check, I'm invisible!
I
All right.
just
Make a
wander in
perception
behind him.
check, however.
All of us, or just...
He's going ahead of you, so he makes the perception check.
That would be my third natural 20 of the night.
Wow.
Dear
wow.
Lord, okay.
That gold dice is mental, I swear.
Yeah.
That gold dice has fucked us over.
It was actually on the
players a couple of times.
the charcoal and red dice.
That's
was the previous
unusual.
one.
The gold dice is
Yeah,
usually
okay,
the charm
well-
one.
With a natural 20, then, you walk along and you begin to see. Hold on, wait a minute. I know how this sort of thing goes. You have pit traps, you space them at intervals so that it gets the person ultimately, regardless of which side they're walking. And yeah, it appears that there are pits that are designed to give way when the weight of somebody travels over the top of them. You don't know what's in these pits, but they certainly seem to be spaced at irregular diagonal intervals, so that regardless of which side of the corridor you're walking down, you will eventually walk over one of them.
Ah,
If you are able to point out the path to the others, then it's fairly easy to draw a line even through the dust as to where to walk and where not to walk.
and
Yeah,
indeed,
with a
I
natural 20, you know
I
where they
take
all are.
I take one of my javelins and say, "Now, unfortunately, because I am invisible, you will not see me pointing these out. But I will outline with my javelin in the dust where the edges of these pit traps are." And I do so.
Oh, thank you. You're such a hero.
Okay. You discover 5 of these pit traps.
And do I fall into the 6th one?
That would be really, really tempting, but after a natural 20, holy
Slightly unfair, yeah.
What you do notice, and again, because of the natural 20,
Yeah.
the first one is not actually a pit trap. It appears to be a pressure pad of some kind, but what it activates or does, you cannot possibly fathom at this point. The others do appear to see. It's quite obvious. There's a really, really thin line of concrete that you walk over, and there's probably going to be a whole load of spikes or acid or snakes or goodness knows what down
Something
there.
else from Indiana Jones, yeah.
Yeah. You guys are you're seasoned adventurers. You've seen some of this sort of thing before.
Do you remember that time there was the pit trap full of starving kittens?
Yes.
Oh, yes. They weren't starving for very long.
That was a good meal. So,
I prefer rat. Kittens
Those
are a
are the
bit
worst.
soft.
yeah, I stride confidently over to the other end of the room, having highlighted where the pit traps are. And,
All right. At the far end of the corridor, you find the wall entirely taken up by a giant statue of a face. It appears to be vaguely demonic in nature. It has small curving horns atop its forehead, and its mouth is wide and agape, like it's shouting or exhaling or some. There's definitely a large opening. The opening of its mouth, it looks like you should be able to see the back of it, but you can't.
Is it made of stone?
Yes. It's
Does
very
it have
much
a
made of stone.
mustache? Can I give it a mustache? Using mold earth, please.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Give it a bright purple mustache.
Yes.
Bright
Just the
purple
colour.
moustache. Okay. So yeah, there's this seemingly imposing demon mouth agape with now a jaunty purple moustache.
I
Oh, it's
poke
not
it.
forever.
I poke it with my
Oh,
great
why
club.
could you do that?
Because I want to.
What part of it do you poke?
The moustache.
Okay. It's
Not hard, I just prod
unyielding
it.
stone.
Poke it in the cheek.
In the cheek, again, hard, unyielding stone.
Don't put your hand in its mouth.
Can
I
we
say
see
entirely hoping
anything?
you put your hand in its mouth.
Can we see anything in its mouth?
No, it just looks like a black void.
So I've got 6 javelins. I'm going to sacrifice one of them by throwing it into the mouth.
Why do you have 6? Who the fuck has 6 javelins?
Standard adventurer's pack.
Paladins who have no other ranged weapons whatsoever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Alright, do you just throw it in? Or
I hurl it in to see how far it goes. See how far it goes,
Okay.
and whether it just vanishes into some sort of just if there's like a
Roll to hit.
I'm really wondering if there's like a disintegration field or something in there. That would be a 16.
Okay. The javelin sails through the air into its mouth, and the second it hits the its mouth, it disappears silently. Just gone.
I'm going to. I've got darts.
Yep.
So I'm going to tie a bit of string around a dart. I assume I've got like rope or whatever.
Yeah.
Tie a bit of rope around a dart and throw it in.
Okay.
And then pull it back.
You throw it in, and it's like it penetrates the border of something, and at the point at which it penetrates the border, the rope immediately falls slack, and there is no dart on the end of it anymore. The end of the rope is frayed.
Is it... question, examining the fraying, does it look like it's a very clean cut, or does it look like it's torn, or are there burn marks or anything?
It looks like a very clean cut.
Is there any other way we can go?
Make another investigation check.
Okay, I haven't made one yet, so... Oh, that's a 1. That's a natural one.
Okay, you look around and you see that there is... there's something on the wall alongside this thing, but it just looks like a whole, smear of colours to you. It makes no sense whatsoever. It's like someone's got several different colours of paint and gone blotch, blotch, blotch. Nothing.
Poke it with my great
on that bit
club.
of wall that she's confused by?
The what?
Is there writing on that wall that she's now just can't understand, or is it just... What is it that she's looking at? Is it something the rest of us would understand?
Yeah, the rest of you turning to it, you see that there appears to be a wall that has several different painted stones set into it.
Okay.
There is a blue one, a yellow one, and an orange one.
I hate these.
Does this mean anything? Like, to any of us? Can we do like a I don't know, history of religion or something?
I point at the statue's mouth. I've heard about things like these. There's some arsehole who just kept putting them everywhere.
Wait, what is it?
I don't know, but if you go into one, you just never come out.
Alright.
Don't go in there.
It broke my fucking rope. I wasn't going to.
Hubert says, on the other hand, it is a very effective way of dealing with any potential intruders. I imagine whoever created this place wanted anyone who had got this far to assume that the only way to progress forwards was to crawl up inside that thing's mouth.
Who would do that?
That just seems foolish. I can't imagine hundreds or possibly thousands of people crawling into the statue's mouth. Certainly, if they did, they would be very enraged about it.
I mean, I'm the first person who thought to look away from the statue, and I just knocked over an ancient artifact for fun. So, I really wouldn't overestimate people.
True.
Does this orange, yellow, and blue mean anything to me?
Make an insight check.
Insight check, okay.
Just how can the rest of us join
Oh,
in?
natural 20! No one needs to
Never
join in.
mind.
Alright, okay.
All I'm thinking is it's the Ryanair colours. That's not helpful.
Oh, it's
I
Ryanair in
think of
this
it in
fucking
those terms, but yeah.
Indiana Jones cave. We'll get a cheap flight.
Fair,
Everything will
if
be
you're gonna
fine.
get into the demon's lair, you're likely to want to travel Ryanair.
Nice.
Definitely.
I'm giving you inspiration for that.
I have a pilot friend called Ryan who actually works for Ryanair, which is incredible.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi Ryan. Not that he's not going to listen. He's not a nerd.
He might.
Well, if you ever do, Ryan, hello.
Alright, yeah. With a natural 20, you think you figured this out. This is obviously some kind of arcane apparatus that you have to put in the right combination for it to do the thing that it does.
It's obviously some kind of arcane operation where you have to put in the right combination for it to do the thing that it does.
Ah, that makes sense. I look around the room and see if there's anything in blue, orange, or yellow around the room.
Yeah. Is there anything around us that matches, corresponds even slightly?
Alright, make an investigation check.
Can I do one?
Yes.
Yeah.
At this point, I would also
As
like to maybe put a torch, light a torch or something, because I've been apparently just been using my dark vision this whole time.
Yeah. I mean, no, there are torches in the...
Oh yeah, no, the whole
They're
thing is
all
lit
lit
up.
up,
Yeah, I
yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah, 16.
That's a 12.
12, 16, any raise on that?
Sorry, what check was that?
Investigation.
Investigation. No,
Oh god.
no.
That's
It
a
wasn't
one.
a 1, but no.
Is it not a 1?
That's
oh, no,
a 3.
it's a 3. I
That
can't
is a
read.
3.
Never mind.
Alright.
It's at the other end of the table. I do know my numbers, listeners. Anyway.
Alright, with a 16, it looks like the stones are set out in such a way as they correspond to where the first pit trap would be on the floor, where the last pit trap would be on the floor, and where the current set of stones actually is indented into the wall.
Ah, shit. I feel like we're probably going to have to go back and deliberately set off that first trap.
You can just throw things down it.
That one wasn't a pit, though. That one was more like a pressure plate.
We
Okay.
could blast one of the pits and see what happens.
Why not?
Do you want?
Eldritch blast.
Which one?
One of the pit traps.
So I guess the middle one it would be.
Yeah. It's gonna,
Okay, you blast the middle one.
I'm going to stay and look at the colours while he's
Okay.
doing that.
Nothing
The
happens to the
22 to
colours on the
hit.
wall, but yeah, okay, with the 22 that definitely hits, and a section of floor falls away, and you feel, or you hear rather, the debris clatter down into a small pit.
Anything horrible coming out of it?
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
Shout down the
Because
corridor.
I'm
That did fuck all!
because I am invisible, I will walk confidently over, avoiding the other traps, and peer down to see if there's anything at the bottom.
You see 6 feet metal spikes at the bottom of this trap.
Just the usual
Also now
spikes.
some chalk dust and debris.
Seems like
Just
just the
appears to be
usual
spikes.
spikes. Yeah, and this is the one that matches up to the position of the Yellowstone.
No, this is the one that is in the middle of the
Oh, so-
pit traps. There's one pit trap that, or rather, the Yellowstone matches up with the position of the pressure plate that you
Right.
identified as you came in, and the blue stone matches up with what you believe to be the location of the final pit trap, and the orange stone matches up with the location of the stones themselves on the wall.
Oh, sorry, I misjudged that. Wrong one. You want to get the one right at the end
Right, I'll
there.
blast the other one.
The one right at the end. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a 21 to hit.
Okay. It falls away, but rather than spikes at the bottom of this, there appears to be a gently ramped chute, essentially. It's going off at a right angle to the corridor that you're in. It appears to be kind of cramped, but there's definitely space for a humanoid person to fit down there. You would guess that this seems to be a trap that is designed, or if it even is a trap, rather than a means of egress from this place. It appears to be designed a bit like a slide.
Ivan, can you have a little look?
Okay. Ivan goes, you know, canaries in coal mines get much better pay than I do. And he goes,
Right.
he goes for a few minutes and says, comes back. It turns left about 20 feet and then goes on, and there's like it opens up into a big, massive room. Seemingly like, like a big entrance hall or something?
Cool. My imaginary set friend says it's safe. Ish.
Okay.
Hubert says, it's always good to trust in your imaginary friends.
Do you want to shoot the pressure plate at the start before we head down there?
Sure, why not?
Yes, why not? See what happens.
Eldritch blast that as well.
Okay,
I stay and
that
look at
just-
the wall again.
From a distance.
It recesses into the floor, and now that you look at the wall again, actually, you see that one of the stones is recessed, and now that the pressure plate is hit, the other stone recesses, and a smaller door-sized section of the wall slides upwards to reveal a passageway.
Huh.
Ah. There's a passage here.
Yes, we can all see that.
Oh, I thought you were all at the other end of the corridor.
No. We shot that from a distance.
Okay.
I've got 120 feet on this thing.
Yep.
What about the third one? There are 3, aren't there?
Yes, there is a third stone on the wall.
Just gonna push that.
You gonna push it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna push
Step
it.
back from
If
him
your
as he
hand
does that.
comes off, I'm going to laugh at you just so that you're
Okay.
aware.
As
gonna
you
help.
push the stone in,
I'm invisible. It's fine.
A character that thinks they're invisible is such a nice thing. Like, I love it.
the trap nearest you closes up, and the section of wall slides back down again.
We go through the motions of reopening everything
Blast
again.
everything.
Yeah, you can. It's fine. Yep.
And then I guess go through the passage.
Okay, which one?
Oh.
Maybe through the little one.
The little one.
Yeah, the one that we wouldn't have accidentally fallen into.
Yeah.
That
Right.
doesn't sound good.
All right. The passageway is narrow, forcing you to go single file. And Hubert says, "You really do have to wonder how much the architect of this place would have been paid." The passageway turns and then sort of doubles back on itself, and it finally comes out at the side of a room which is long and rectangular. It seems like the only features of this room are 3 tables, 3 long dining tables. 2 are empty, but there is one in the middle which is piled high with food of all varieties. All of the different courses are all there at once. You have suckling pigs next to jellies. You have soups, tureens of roasted vegetables, other spit-roasted animals. It is piled high with food. As you are entering the room, that is the thing that seems to be dominating it. The other 2 tables are bare and unoccupied, but seemingly set for dinner in some ways. There are like little doilies and candle holders and just like other ancillary bits of cutlery that are there, seemingly waiting to be used.
Well, this seems highly suspicious, considering this is supposed to be a tomb. Going to look around for any entrances or exits apart from the one we came into.
Yes, actually, you can see at the far end of this chamber there is a single wooden door. You'd have to, from where you are, you'd have to pass by all of the tables to get there, but it does appear to be a single, fairly ornate wooden door.
Keeping to the edge of the room, because I do not trust that table of food one whit. I'd like to circle around the room and get to that wooden door.
All right, you're walking by it. The room is only about 15 feet wide, and the middle 5 feet is taken up by the tables at varying intervals. However, as you pass by the middle table, I'd like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Ah, shit!
What is it?
Okay, yep, that was... I was laughing because I have a wisdom saving modifier of 10, and I rolled a 3. So that would be a 13.
You are suddenly ravenously, inconsolably hungry, and immediately you lunge for the food and start piling it into your mouth. And
You know what?
to your
It's been a
delight-
long day. I'm going to sit down, lift up the visor, and just start eating.
What the fuck are you doing?
Actually, no, you can't.
I can't lift the visor up.
You try to lift the visor up, but you cannot lift the visor up. You desperately want to get the food to your mouth, but you're just sort of smashing it into the faceplate of the helm, and there appears to be no way to get this anywhere near your mouth other than by forcing it through the eye hole.
Is there any soup? Is there any soup?
Yes, there is.
Okay, I pick up soup and I drain it through the visor.
Well, he's gonna
Okay.
drown.
As you do so,
If you
you
drown in
place the
soup,
ball
I'm
back
laughing
on.
at you.
You place the ball back on the table, and the ball immediately refills with soup.
Okay, I'm still possessed by this ravenous hunger, so I'm just gonna
Yes.
keep shoveling soup through my visor. Cursed invisibility!
Probably do something.
I'm just gonna lean on a wall and watch him.
Okay,
I'm not
there
gonna
is
help at
soup,
all.
Like slathering down the sides of this
Oh,
this
God.
helm.
This is great.
It is slightly too hot, but not enough that you take any damage from it.
But surely the helmet's filling up with soup.
It is filling up with soup. I mean, the soup that isn't actually making it into his mouth is now dribbling down his front, but
This
you know,
feels appropriate
some
for
of
the
it is
abuse
getting in your
character.
mouth.
I'm just gonna chuck a couple of Eldritch Blasts at the table and see what happens.
Okay.
Food fight!
Ooh, that's really bad rolls. So it's a 10 and 11 to hit.
It's
It's a table.
yeah, okay. The table rocks slightly, but you notice, weirdly enough, the food on it all stays exactly where it is.
Well, it's an unsolvable riddle, and I turn and walk away. Before we came.
Okay. Again, it seems any piece of food you pick up and try and eat immediately regenerates the second that you've done it or consumed it.
I want to go up to the table and poke it and see if it feels like food.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Lol. This is such a bad idea. Oh, mate.
You have a +2 to this from being within 10 feet of me.
Oh, good. I need it. So that's a 13? No, that's
No.
the same as you.
You immediately, it's like you haven't eaten in years, and there's all this plethora of delicious food in front of
eat
you right here,
everything.
right now. Okay, as you reach out, you pick up drumsticks and entire, turkeys, and devour them all entirely, but the second you eat them, they regenerate right in front of you again.
Right.
You notice, both of you, that no matter how much you eat, you don't seem to be getting any fuller.
I continue to just ravenously eat. That's all my mind can encompass right now. And a certain frustration with not being able to get my visor up.
Okay. Right. I'm just going to see what Hubert has for a second. But, Darren, what are you doing?
I'm walking back up the tall, trying to. I think Ivan's probably stopping me leaving.
Oi!
You hear or rather, you feel a slight tug on your earlobe, like, "Oi, listen!
What?
They're obviously enchanted. That's the oldest trick in the book. The old
I know,
unending
it's
table."
So terrible. So terrible. Such a shame. Tragic waste of life.
No, you don't understand. If you don't help them, they're gonna sit there eating until they starve.
I know, it's such a shame. I keep walking.
All right.
Oh no.
You receive a new ear piercing. He goes, "Now, right, it's more than my job's worth to let you walk away from this situation.
Ow! Fine.
Now you go back there and you dispel that table, otherwise they're all going to end up eating themselves, not to death, but kind of. There's no food on that table. It's all an illusion."
Well, it'd be really helpful if I could dispel things, I wondered.
Sorry,
You're
the
gonna have to find
character
some way
with
of
the
negating this effect, otherwise nobody's going to get out of here alive.
nope. The character with the dispelling magic is currently stuffing his face.
I'm a monk.
Get in there and slap them out of it then, or, pull them away from the table, do something. At this point, Hubert's sort of looking at this, doing some calculations on a piece of parchment, and it appears to be the ratio of body mass to food intake, and he's obviously doing some kind of fiendish calculation owing to the amount that they're consuming, but you can't tell to what end. Carry the 9.
Do you have anything to get rid of this?
Well, let me see. Well, if one of them were to die, I could ensure that they would rise again, but that's
not really.
That would seem a little premature at this point. I have a plan, however, and he is going to cast Enhance Ability, which I do not believe is a touch spell, but even if it is, it doesn't really make that much difference. He is going to very cautiously walk up to, I'll say foe, and sort of just slap him on the back of the helmet, like POW! And cast Enhance Ability. He has enhanced your wisdom temporarily.
Is that checks or saves or both?
I believe it is both, but I will just double check the wording of that.
I thought it was checks, but I may be wrong.
As long as it's enough to give me a to let me repeat the check.
Yes.
Okay then.
Yeah, the act of him, thwacking you around the back of the head, doesn't really do any lasting damage, but it does mean that you would make another saving throw.
Yeah, that was a 13.
Seriously?
That was another natural
Fuck off.
Okay, hang on, let me double check if the enhance ability does anything.
I think it's just checks.
It's just checks.
Yeah.
Alright.
So yeah. Try and drag them away, would that help?
Yeah, you can attempt to drag them away. Make a.
Can I try and move the table away?
You can. You can also try to drag them away from the table if you want.
I've got a better chance of moving the table, I think.
Alright.
Because I'm going to Eldritch Blast it, and that will move it 10 feet away from me.
Alright.
That's 19 to hit. No,
oh yeah,
20.
that definitely hits. Okay, you shoot an Eldritch Blast into the table, and it shoots off down the room, colliding, in fact, with the other table that's the other side of it. Foe, you are now far enough away from the table that your hunger subsides. It's the craziest thing. It's like you were starving a moment ago, but now that you appear to have had the food taken away from you, you're not hungry anymore, which is entirely backwards to all of your experiences previous to this, with regards to food.
Okay, realizing what's happened, I grab Stuffy and drag her back out of the room the opposite way.
I'll do another Eldritch Blast at the same time. Push it a bit further.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone, just take a moment. I'm here, by the way. You're not being dragged by an invisible force.
Oh, good. I was so worried.
Let's just take a moment to stop, focus our key, and figure out how the hell we're going to get out of this mess.
And that is where we will take our break.
Hello, my friends, and welcome. I hope that you will be liking, sharing, and subscribing with Flintlocks and Fireballs very soon, and then we can all hang out like good friends who are definitely not vampires.
And welcome back. So, when last we left our erstwhile heroes, They had just escaped almost certain death by gorging. And the situation is that now we have another problem to deal with, in that the table which apparently compels people to gorge themselves is now at one end of the room, and our heroes are at the other. The problem being, the end of the room that the table is at is also the end of the room with the only door out of the place.
Okay, so
Well,
what exact? Oh, sorry, I'll talk in character. That's much more fun.
Yeah.
So was it the smell of the table? Was that what did it? Should we just all hold our noses and try and walk past the thing?
clearly, its delicious smells were able to penetrate even the protective layer of my invisibility. I suspect.
What?
Oh yes, I cannot see you.
Out of
Indeed, I am
What?
over here. I will tap this wall so you know where I am.
Oh god, it made me jump.
But
Make a deception check.
no, you don't need to. You successfully convinced me by now.
Okay.
Until something
Okay.
until something concrete proves I'm not invisible, I am invisible.
That's a fair point.
Yep.
Fair point.
Wait a moment, Darren. You can do that thing where you just blast things at a long distance.
Yep.
Do you want to just reduce that table to a smear of delectable foods and wood splinters?
Sure, let's do that. Why not?
Fuck the table up.
And I will fuck the table up with multiple
Okay.
Eldritch blasts.
Yeah, because you can just do those as often as you want.
Yeah, every 6 seconds I can do 2 blasts.
Okay.
So it's just like,
Is it breaking after a while? Do you want me to roll a whole bunch of them?
Just roll the first lot.
Well, that is a natural 20 and a 17.
Okay, your first one splits the table in half, and the second one hits one side of the table. But you notice at the moment that the table splits in half, all of the food on it disappears instantly.
Well, that worked.
huh.
Right, fuck it, let's go to the door. I kick the door in.
All right.
Subtle.
So subtle.
This is a very
Okay.
subtle
Shot,
party.
fuck it.
Subtle as a foot to the face.
Listeners, I do occasionally play subtle characters.
Do
Just
you?
for the record.
I've never seen it.
Gwen was subtle. Sometimes.
When was fireballs and mad? No.
Yeah, maybe I don't. Maybe I should just accept this.
All right.
Yeah.
You find yourself in a very large chamber. It appears to have a large statue on the opposite side of it, and from your perspective as you're walking in there, on your right there is a small wooden door, and on your left there is what appears to be just a large wooden shelving unit opposite that door on the right. The statue appears to be of a much larger than life. It's maybe 20 feet tall. A regal-looking individual with a crown and some very nice chainmail armor. He's standing with his long sword, just placed in front of him in a way that's kind of reminiscent of the knight you fought earlier, but that's definitely not him. You can see this guy's face. He looks quite thick-set. He has a long moustache that kind of protrudes out past the sides of his face. But he has a quite stern countenance about him.
Is there anything on the shelving unit? Or is it just empty shelves?
No, it appears to be empty, and you can actually see that it's got a couple of what look like handprints on it in the thick layer of dust that looks like it's been moved reasonably recently.
How big are the handprints?
Humanoid.
Okay.
How far away is the statue?
From where you are, it is it's about 170 feet away.
Jeez.
This is a very
This is a
large
big room.
chamber.
It's a very long room.
Okay, very,
Yes.
very big room.
How far away is the door?
The door on your right is maybe 100 feet away.
How far away are the bookcase? The shelves?
The shelf is same distance, just on the opposite side of the room.
Okay.
Do we think they're blocking a door? Someone's moved it recently. What's behind it?
Well, I suppose there's one way to find out. Allow me to go first. I am, after all, invisible.
Yes, you
I'm going
should
to
go
stride
first.
confidently over
Or
towards...
I could blast it, never mind.
Oh, well, that would actually be much easier, yes.
Too late, you're going.
Well, no, you just
yeah.
said that. I
I'm
have 100 feet to walk. I can hear you say that. I go, oh, no, you're quite right. I stand for
Oh,
my
I'm
arms.
very scared. I think the invisible man should go in first.
Oh, fine then. I suppose I
I'm going to
will.
blast it as he starts walking towards it.
Nah.
But I want to try
Shooting
and...
through your allies, what could go wrong?
I want to try and angle it so that it moves away from me, because if anything I hit with Eldritch Blast moves 10 feet away.
Alright, yeah, I mean, you could go and stand, just straight in line. You could go to the extreme of the room, stand in line with the shelving unit.
Walking into
And-
a room, that seems like a bad idea.
I mean, I'm already
Maybe
like 30
not.
feet into the room now.
Alright,
I'll blast
You know-
it anyway, see if it moves.
okay, roll.
15?
It does move a little bit. Maybe 2 or 3 feet.
My angles are all off.
I mean, as you get close to it, you notice this is a fairly hefty shelving unit. It's maybe like 15 feet across.
Oh, wow, this is hefty. Oh, well, I'll continue walking up to it then. Boom, boom.
I might go and have a look at the statue while he's doing that.
Alright,
See if there's anything
I'm going to
weird about it.
stay out the way.
okay. You walk to the opposite side of the room. This statue does appear to be at least 20-25 feet tall, made out of marble. He seems to be kind of all alone here. There's no pillars in this room or anything to denote why this particular statue would be here. But,
And it's made of stone.
yes.
And she's gotten within 30 feet without anything bad happening?
Do you go within 30 feet?
I said I wanted to go and have a look at it, so yeah, I guess I do.
Alright. Walking up to it, it looks kind of imposing, and the countenance on it certainly looks quite stern, but it's like he's looking way over your head, obviously, because he's looking at whatever he's looking at is at his eye level.
Can I have a look where he's looking? If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, can I turn round and try and follow his eye line?
Yeah, it just seems to be looking at the wall above the door you came through.
I will follow, and once I am within 30 feet, I will use mold earth to give him a mustache.
He already has a moustache.
I will give him a bigger one.
Okay.
I'm going to extend
glasses.
the mustache.
Yep,
Okay.
and a pair of glasses that are drawn on.
Amazing.
Brilliant. Okay.
Mold earth is the best cantrip. Why have I never...
Such a good cantrip.
You could just make pictures and writing appear on rock. How did I never find out about this before?
Okay, you see the already quite large moustache grow an extra foot either side.
Excellent.
He now looks like possibly recognizable Italian plumber.
Perfect.
And big comedy glasses.
Or maybe Dr. Robotnik from Sonic.
But yeah, I see nothing looking the way he's looking, particularly.
No. He doesn't appear to be looking at anything, it's just like where his eyes are resting.
If I've reached the shelving unit by now, I will confidently attempt to shove it along a bit.
Alright,
Touching
make an athletics check.
Okay. That would be a 16.
16. It's a bit stubborn, but you do manage to get it moving. And after you succeed in moving it maybe 5-10 feet, you can see that behind it there is not a door, but just a passageway. Also, I would like you to make me a perception check.
Ominous.
That would be a natural 1.
Excellent.
Being invisible means you can't see anything, obviously.
Yeah.
No, the huge fucking visor in this helmet means that I
you still
can't
got
see
the fucking
anything.
helmet
I've got a
on.
grill, like a proper, car heater grill visor.
Is it still full of soup? That's a DM
Soup is
question.
probably dripping from it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Illusory
So
soup.
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't go when the table went.
Nice.
Alright, do you continue trying to move the shelving unit?
I mean, is there enough space for my oppressive bulk to fit into the passageway, or do I need to push it a little bit further open?
Not currently, but it isn't entirely uncovered yet.
Okay, well, I guess I'll continue pushing it until there's enough space for me to conceivably fit in.
Okay, you push it to one side, and you see there's a fairly narrow passageway, but you reckon you could go down there if you were walking single file.
Hey, look at this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, the invisible man is the one who is safest.
Well, surely we all want to go down this eventually.
Yes, but you can tell us if there are any monsters in there.
Okay, but I think you should at least be near the entrance so that you can hear me when I call
Oh,
back.
I'll be watching, don't worry.
Alright, do you go down it?
Yes, I guess I'm going to, following the spirit of this party, I'm going to stride confidently. I'm going to
Out the
awkwardly.
traps.
Yeah, that's
So
a good point.
not helping to look for traps.
I will actually investigate, looking for traps as I proceed.
Alright, yeah, make an investigation check.
I'm going to lean on a wall and watch
7.
him and take a shot of vodka.
7. The only
With
thing that you
friends
can...
like this.
Yeah. The only thing that you can see is that the passageway appears to extend for about 30 feet. I'm just going to ask the rest of you, where are you standing in relation to Foe right now?
Like, in the doorway.
Okay.
I'm standing 10 feet back from the doorway watching.
Oh, I don't mean the doorway, I mean like the passageway entrance.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
I realised
sorry.
there's an
Right,
actual
okay.
door as well, confusing.
Yeah.
So it's worth mentioning I do have dark vision as well.
Okay. You can see actually up ahead that the passageway turns at a right angle to your left.
Well, I
That's
haven't
confusing, but yeah, that's how it works.
spotted any traps thus far, so I guess I go to peer around the edge of the passageway, trusting to my invisibility.
Alright, as you're heading up the passage, you see that there is a small hole at the end of this passageway that immediately disgorges a large plume of flame. The plume of flame travels the entire length of the corridor. I need you and Stuffy to make a dexterity saving throw.
Guess which is the of my saves isn't in the double digits. That would be an 8.
Oh dear. That would be an 11 from me.
Alright.
Watch it out! I say unhelpfully.
Like the flame goes and then you say watch out.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I'm really sorry, I'm going to need more dice for this.
We
Right.
all gonna die.
There's a lot of dice sounds I'm hearing.
Wow, okay. That could have gone so much worse. You both take 17 fire damage.
Oh, that
Okay, for the
that
amount
could
of
have
dice
gone
you
a lot
rolled,
worse.
that's really not that bad, actually.
No, I rolled a 1 and a 2 twice.
So 17, so that is...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually completely doable.
Yeah. Relatively
Ow!
reasonable.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's
I
just
imagine
like a
I'm quite
long
flammable
flamethrower,
because of
like-
the amount of vodka I have actually imbibed today, so...
Just for safety security, I am going to give myself 10 points of my own lay on hands.
Yeah.
Oh, are you still alive? I shout down the corridor.
Of course.
Okay, I'm coming down.
Actually, if the other two of you are close by, I'm gonna have you roll a perception check as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Oh.
have a little bit.
Oh
Ooh,
dear.
25.
7.
Okay, you see on the back of the, or like on the back part of the shelving unit, there is a large scorch mark.
Wow.
Presumably, whoever moved this did so in order either to conceal the passageway or to block it from the amount of flame that was disgorged at the end of it.
So I'd like to see whether there was a search the area immediately before, beneath, and after me, and see if there was, say, a pressure plate that I might have stepped on.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Because if there wasn't, that slightly suggests this just happens randomly. So that's a 15.
15. You don't see anything obvious.
I suspect this chute simply disgorges fire at regular intervals. Let us move quickly through it. I'm
Well,
going
we
to
can
move.
have a little short rest and watch and work out its pattern.
Let us move quickly through it.
Alright.
Yes, fuck it, let's go. I drag Darren down the corridor.
Oh, fuck.
Alright.
I cast freedom of movement to escape
Okay.
from her.
Oh shit, where the fuck did it go?
Hubert sort of taps, I suppose it would be Darren on the shoulder and says, "How close to dying do you think they are?"
Closer
I ask
with every
purely
step.
out of academic interest.
I think we're all closer with every step we take.
Right.
Let's keep moving.
I take some more steps.
Yeah, no, I'm just charging around turning around the corner, looking for the source of the last flame shoot.
No,
He is
stop,
going-
don't.
He is going to spend 2 level 1 healing cure wounds on you. So you each regain. What would that be?
It's a D8 plus something.
Okay, you each regain 10 hit points.
Ooh,
Lovely.
nice.
That's
I'm,
quite a lot. Excellent.
I'm actually back to full now.
He has high wisdom. Please try not to get burned again.
We'll do our best.
As he's reaching forward, I go, "Oh, I am here. Yes, just a few steps forward, and you'll feel me when you press your hand. There we go."
Yes, of course. I
can still
couldn't
heal
see
invisible
you.
people.
Well, I'm not intangible.
No,
That seems like a missed opportunity to punch him in the balls.
that would be a shame. If you were intangible, you may have escaped the fire.
Well, maybe I'll have to find some other helmet for that. Now, moving onwards.
Alright. You turn the corner. The passageway continues and then goes at another right angle, this time to the right. So you've kind of done a zigzag.
Oh, okay.
And this opens up into a large chamber. This one does have pillars in it. It's another quite large chamber.
Okay.
To the point where does anyone in the party not have dark vision?
I think I do.
Does creepy priest man?
I believe he does because he's a half elf.
Oh yeah,
Half
half-elves
orcs
do.
have.
I
dark
couldn't
vision,
remember.
don't they?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Never played a half orc before.
Yeah, he's a half elf. Okay, so 1 second then. You can see, actually, as you enter, on a diagonal from you, this this chamber appears to be vaguely hexagonal in nature. You can see that there is a a passageway that leads off from it, opposite you.
It's a terrible shape to build a theatre. Don't build hexagonal theatres.
Is this the voice of experience, Roberta?
There is a theatre called the Hexagon. Yes, it is.
Oh dear.
The more you know. There is also a passageway off to your right as you're coming in. There are 4 very large pillars in the centre of this room, holding up the roof. Also, like I say, on the diagonal from you, the only side of the room, the only side of the room that doesn't have a door on it, there appears to be a reasonably large, unattended chest. Also, I need to roll something.
Ominous.
Dear.
All right. Okay. So yeah, that is what you see.
Okay. I'd like to skirt around the edges of the room so that I can go behind the chest.
The chest is against the wall.
I'll still go to the point where I'm beside the chest, please.
I would like to look for things that are likely to kill me before I decide to go in the room.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Investigation 21.
21.
Nice.
Okay, I need to double check something then.
If you build a warlock right, you can be a proper skill monkey. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not great for long-term play because I've sacrificed a lot of other stuff. But
But for a one-shot, fuck it.
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, here we go. Right. That was 22, was it?
21.
21.
Yeah.
Alright, no, that's good enough. Above you, in the centre of the 4 pillars, you can see there is a large, vaguely ovoid shape, but it appears to have quite harsh, rough edges. You can see that it has... it's maybe... thinking the size comparisons here, it's maybe the size of a small hut, and it appears to be a creature of some sort, like a large floating head with just a big mouth filled with rows of teeth, and there is a large cycloptic eye in the centre of it, with what appears to be like tendril-like protrusions at the top of it.
I mean, you can just say
which...
beholder. You can just say it.
Okay. It appears to... Well, I mean, have any of your characters ever come across one of these before? I'm going to have you all roll a nature check.
Nature.
Natural 1!
Natural 1.
11.
14.
14.
I know what this is. It's actually a type of large...
Have you even seen it yet?
It's actually a type of large spore that looks like a floating eye. But so long as you burst it from a distance, it should be fine. You just don't want to burst it when you're right next to it.
Do I believe this? Do
Why
I
is it-
believe this bullshit?
Actually, with a 14, you don't necessarily know what this is, but it looks undead to you. There's bits hanging off it. It starts to descend, and I need you all to roll initiative.
Balls.
Oh
no, I have advantage on initiative.
Game,
That's more like it.
Okay, 1 second.
That's...
Not magic, so the non-magic things isn't going to murder me. That's good.
Well, bully for you.
I'm always magic, though. Not been somebody not
Yeah.
magic in ages. It's quite exciting.
Alright, so if I could get initiatives from you.
18.
14.
1.
How many ones have you rolled today?
That was in fairness a 3, but my initiative modifier is -1. Sorry, -2.
2.
Fucking hell.
Okay, so
Because you're
1.
so fat, you move slowly.
Yep. I have
Oh,
a
I need to roll
dexterity
for
of 6.
Hubert as well. Hubert. Okay. He rolled a 13.
If anyone has the ability to grant me flight, this would be very helpful in this fight.
Alright, Darren, you're up first.
Right. Well, I will use my bonus action to shift.
Alright.
And my ears get longer, my teeth get longer. And I can move faster now. Oh, I get hit points as well. Lovely.
Fit.
Yeah. And then for my action,
Yep.
I will cast Fly. If this
Ooh.
thing's on the ceiling.
Ooh.
I'm not in it.
Yeah,
so
it's above you. It's not currently staring right at you, but yeah.
So I will cast it
Go on.
at 4th level. As if am I in its eye beam, or has it had time to activate its eye beam? Because it's not.
I'm going to say that you don't know, but
Did
it's
I
not
shift
currently
alright?
looking at you. Yes, you did.
Then it should be alright, I would have thought.
Yeah.
So I will cast Fly at 4th level, because those are the slots I have, and cast it on. Oh, stop going away. What's the distance? Have I got enough distance on this? Stop.
What is the distance you have?
It is. Oh shit! It's touch. Then I will cast it on the only people I can reach, which is Stuffy and our cleric friend.
Ah, shit. Yep, I'm
You're
on the other side of the room.
Yes, you
Yep,
are.
I did actually make it to the other side of the room, apparently.
So I can.
It is
fly
more
now.
looking at you.
You can fly as long as
Oh,
you're
so
not
it's
in its
looking at
eye beam.
me. Lovely.
Yeah.
So I'm a flying monk woman.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
You're
is
crouching
our
tiger,
cleric.
hidden dragoning this shit right now.
Amazing.
Your flying speed is 60 feet.
That's really
Excellent.
good.
Wow.
Yeah, with 60 feet, you could definitely get up to it.
Yeah.
If anyone can bring that down to me, that would be lovely.
Okay, you do notice actually though, it's looking in your direction, but it doesn't look like it's actually focused on you specifically, Foe. Just an important clarification.
Because
there.
you're invisible.
I'm invisible, of course!
Cannot see you. You're so lucky.
Ah.
The rest of us are in such danger.
All right, so is that everything you want to do for your turn?
I
Darren?
would like to back into the. Actually, I'm going to get behind a pillar so that I can't directly see it.
Okay. All right.
That's a lot of movement right now.
With that done, it is now its turn. It sort of hisses, but you see, it's not like a kind of menacing sort of hiss. It's a sort of like the hiss of a air being let out of a balloon, like. And it starts to slowly descend
Oh, it does actually
towards you.
slowly sink.
You can see that the eye stalks atop it are twitching around in kind of random directions, but kind of in a lazy sort of lolloping kind of fashion. It doesn't look like there's any actual intelligence behind it. It does, however, square in on you and attempt to shoot one of its eye rays at you.
Oh, shit.
Okay, it has that many, so I will roll randomly.
The hoarders are so fun.
Okay. Right. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Oh, for
and
fuck's
please
sake.
roll high. Please roll high.
No, that's not going to happen. That's a 15.
You gonna die.
You just made it.
Oh!
You just made it. Okay, no, you entirely escape any damage. It does, however, hit the wall behind you, and you see a brick in the wall just crumble into dust.
Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
no.
no! It can see invisible creatures!
Maybe not. It did miss. Maybe
Okay,
it just heard you.
it is now Stuffy's go.
Okay, so Stuffy is gonna take a shot of vodka and go, ah! And she's gonna rage because fuck you all, I multiclassed.
Excellent.
And then she's gonna, I guess, fly up into the air. So the force of the scream is actually going to take her upwards. And she's
Love
gonna
it.
hit it twice with a fucking great club.
Excellent.
Because 2 attacks is an exciting thing.
All here for this.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good. That's an 11, the first one.
And 11 misses. Yeah.
And... Oh, for fuck's sake, that's terrible. Another 11.
I'm afraid that
no,
also
not an
misses.
11. Sorry, I'm going mad. I can't do maths. Ignore me. That was wrong.
I've
What
been
is
doing maths all day, don't worry.
That is 15.
That just hits.
Hey!
Oh.
How exciting. Okay,
Good
so...
to know.
D8. Where's my D8? There we go. So that's an 11 plus rage is 13.
13 damage. Okay,
Yes.
great.
And then,
Alright.
if I can, I'd like to fly slightly away from... No, hang on, I've used my bonus action. I can't disengage, can I? No, I totally
I
can't.
suppose raging is a bonus
Raging
action.
is-
Yeah,
a bonus
yeah.
action.
So I'll stay where I
Yeah.
am. Fuck it.
Alright, cool. You're having a mid-air punch-up with a beholder.
I
This
am.
is what is
That is
happening
what is
right now.
I imagine it looks fucking amazing.
You can see that actually one of its eye stalks is kind of hanging off it, like it's, it's like it's severed almost entirely from its body. It's just sort of lying limply there. As you've got close to it now, you can see that, yeah, this thing is decayed. It's like a zombified version of a beholder.
Yak.
Alright, next up then is Hubert. And Hubert is going to look up at this thing and goes, "What a beautiful thing.
Weird.
It seems almost a shame I must kill it." And he is going to cast Inflict Wounds. So it needs to make a Wisdom saving throw, I believe.
There's work on undead in this edition.
Yeah. Okay, Wisdom. I think it fails. Yes, it does. Okay, it takes 3d6 slashing damage.
Ooh,
Oh,
nice.
Okay, that's 9 slashing damage.
it does slashing damage. Interesting.
That's always how I'd kind of pictured it. I imagine Inflict Wounds as being a bit like Sectum Sempra.
Oh, I've always imagined
Yeah.
it as
Me too,
being kind
yeah.
of like just, mixed parts of you rot and does necrotic. But I guess, yeah, if his version does slashing, it does slashing, which is great.
Yep.
I like that. That's fun.
Okay. Right. It is now Foe.
Is it low enough for me to hit in melee?
No.
Is it... How low above the ground is it?
It's maybe 30 feet above the ground.
Okay, so that's not going to happen. Right.
You could issue it a divine challenge.
Funnily enough, that's not one of the spells I have. I have a very limited number of spells. Okay. I'm going to run to the centre, to directly below where Stuffy is. Because Stuffy, you've got 60 feet of movement.
I do.
I'm sorry for what this will provoke, but if it does hit you, I can. There are things I can do. I'm going to hold my action and ask. I think it would have to be Stuffy rather than Hubert, unless Hubert has the range to reach me. Like, could someone please give me a lift? And I'm going to hold an attack action until someone lifts me up close enough to actually hit it.
Oh, that's so sad.
That is hilarious, though.
Melee character.
Yeah.
How much of an action would it be to lift him up?
I would say, well, if you wanted to move away from the beholder, you'd have to use disengage or risk getting an attack of opportunity on you.
Uh-huh.
But
You would know that there is something I can do.
yeah, I think it would have to be an action because you're literally lifting somebody else into the air or throwing them. So yeah.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So that being foes go, we're back at the
Yeah.
top of the round with Darren.
Right. do with a bonus action? Oh, no, I can't. Right, I will... Is there any way that I can get just the undead beholder in a 20-foot cube and not hit anyone else?
Yes, if you were to place the cube like the opposite side of the beholder to where Stuffy is right now, it'd be perfectly fine.
Lovely. Then I will cast Fairy Fire.
Ooh, nice. Okay. I think actually Fairy Fire just
There's
targets
a save.
enemies,
Big
but...
deck save.
I think
All
it's
right.
creatures within.
Alright, Dex save, damn it. It rolled a natural 1, so yeah, no, it's very much does not fail. I mean, yes, it does fail. It absolutely fails. It fails as badly as it possibly can.
Lovely. And not a great deal I can do with a bonus action now, so I will just cower behind my pillar.
Alright. It is now the beholder's go. The beholder is going to turn around and is going to try and bite a chunk out of Stuffy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. That's 22 to hit?
Oh, it definitely hits.
Alright.
The question is how much damage it does.
I lost, apparently. Jesus.
It does 13 piercing damage.
But that's half to 7 because rage.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Is
Also
she
not
now
high
within
enough
the eye beam?
It is looking at her.
But it's not affecting the... Because the fly spell would stop working within the eye beam.
Yeah, although, this... If what your character knows about beholders, it's not,
Oh,
but
no,
she's
just
still
that-
able to
I'm not-
fly.
I'm not asking for the character, I'm asking whether she drops out the air.
She does not drop out of the air.
Yeah, Darren's not looking. Darren doesn't care.
Yeah, you see actually
I'm
like
curious as
the
to
main
whether she
eye.
falls.
The main eye is almost entirely white.
Oh, it's blind-ish.
In one of its eyes.
Yeah, the stalks are
Blindness
still...
is a difficult condition to inflict upon beholders.
Yeah, it takes a bit of time.
They're not immune to being blinded.
Just a lot of eyes to get.
Yeah.
Ivan has his own turn, by the way, but I don't have an attack action to give him my extra attack, so he can't really do anything. But in case you wanted to do something with him,
Okay. He sort of pops out from behind you and goes, "Oh fuck," and pops back in.
you think? Prick.
Don't let it look at you.
Great advice, that.
You're welcome. All right. Right there. So that's beholder. Yeah, Stuffy, your go.
I would like to spend a key point and do Step of the Wind.
Okay, cool.
So that I can disengage as a bonus action. And then I would like to sort of kick off the ceiling, fly on down, pick up foe, and try and hit the beholder with foe. If you will allow me to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know
This
what
is, you know,
that would count as.
Yep.
But,
This is the most monk barbarian thing ever. I'm gonna hit a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
basically what I'm doing.
Not again!
Okay.
I don't know what I roll for this, mate. Or
Well,
if you
first of
even
all,
allow
foe,
it.
do you resist this?
Foe doesn't resist this. He's going to take advantage of this for extra momentum while making his attacks.
All right. Then I will say.
Because of Newton, this does mean I will take as much damage as the beholder does, most likely.
Okay. How I'm going to rule this then is that Stuffy flies down, picks up a foe, uses him like
Like a flail.
an improvised
actually.
melee weapon.
Yep.
So I'm going to say, yeah, you have advantage with improvised weapons anyway. So just roll this as if it were a straight unarmed attack.
Okay, cool. So, 24.
That hits.
Definitely hits. Excellent.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
do I do martial arts damage for that? Like, how are we doing this?
Yeah. Let's go with
Yeah.
martial arts
Cool,
damage.
cool. So that is
7 damage plus rage is 9 damage.
9 damage. Okay. Both the beholder and foe take 9 damage. However,
Yeah.
foe has advantage to hit when
that's-
he
He's got
attacks.
advantage anyway, because
It's
of
a
fairy fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I had
that's true. I didn't realise I had advantage, so I'll re-roll the... Well, the first one, yeah, and the second one... Okay, so that's 21 to hit with the first attack,
Hits.
14 with the second attack.
14. Just misses.
If it just misses,
Yep.
I have 3 allies within 60 feet of me. I will invoke my Save Face ability as a hobgoblin
What?
to give me a
Right.
+3 bonus to one
Okay,
attack
yeah.
that would otherwise fail
That's a
or
hilarious
miss
ability.
because I
That
just
hits.
like no, this is important. Can't lose face in front of my
That's
allies.
a fantastic ability.
That's ridiculous. What
Yep.
the fuck?
Love it. Okay, so your damage total.
Okay, so crack. I'm going to burn a couple of spell slots in this.
Excellent.
So I'm out of level 1 spells to begin with now, and and I whip out the dull black mace. So I land into it with the shield, bracing against it. Smack it once with the mace as I land, and as I'm being swung away, I backswing and hit it again. As the mace hits it, it begins to. It just flares with brilliant golden light. So this is where this gets fun.
Yeah.
Radiant damage.
Throwing a whole bunch of smite at them.
Yeah, more. I actually get some extra damage on top of that. So from the Mace of Disruption, that's
Yep.
7, 9, 10 points of damage from the Mace of Disruption, of which 7 is radiant, if that makes a
Right.
difference.
Okay,
And
it does.
then okay, so that's 11, and then an additional 12 points of damage from Smite. From
Also
the first,
radiant.
so that was the first attack.
Yep.
So the second attack.
You could end up one-shotting this
8,
thing, you know?
9 radiant, 5 bludgeoning, although
This is
from
ridiculous,
a
what the
magical weapon, and then 7, 14 additional radiant damage.
Wow.
Holy okay, hang on. I need to get the calculator out for this.
I hope anyone else can remember what I rolled. I think it
Not
was.
a clue.
No, why
Yep,
did you expect
yep,
other
yep.
people to remember?
No, that's fine. It was 10 plus it's 19 for the first one, and then 12, and 12 plus 14, 26 for the second one. So a total of 45 points of damage.
Yeah, 45.
45 points of
45
damage.
points
okay.
of damage,
Holy
of
shit.
which I believe 35 was radiant.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
You entirely stove its central eye in. The other eye stalks sort of jitter and shudder, and you see some of them just fall off.
I
It is
shout,
still alive, but it is
I shout as I
barely
strike it.
alive.
Cease and desist!
Make an intimidation check with advantage.
Okay, so that would be that's a 20 non-natural.
Oh, it just resists that. Otherwise, it would be definitely scared of you.
Okay, fair enough.
It rolled a 21.
hell.
It has not chosen to it has not chosen to surrender and accept the pacifist approach here.
It
Oh,
has
well.
chosen poorly.
Yes. So now I'm just hanging from as the swing ends. I'm now hanging from Stuffy's arm. Ah!
Right. Hubert, looking up at this, says, "Well, I'm definitely not wasting any more spell slots." And he casts Sacred Flame. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw. Which it fails. Okay,
Yay.
it takes... Oh god, it takes more radiant damage. Okay, okay. It takes... Because it's vulnerable, it takes double, so yeah, that's the equivalent of 26 radiant damage.
Bloody hell.
So you're telling me I effectively did 80 points of damage
That's
on the
absurd.
previous shot.
Yeah. Okay, Foe, it is now actually your go. I assume now you're like dangling by your ankles.
So I'd like to make an athletics check for the
I'd
core.
assumed that I picked him up by the scruff of his neck, actually. Like,
Oh,
I'm-
okay, in which
like,
case
I'm
you're
upside
being
down.
held.
Yeah, like I'm upside down, but he's the right way up, sort of
Oh,
thing.
great! So I don't need to make an athletics check for the core strength to right myself. In which case, I will just take my 2 attacks.
Yeah, like
with
I'm
advantage
sort of
still.
effectively standing on the ceiling, holding you above my head, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Fairy Fire's concentration. I forgot that.
Well, you haven't had anything that would break your concentration yet.
But I also had Fly up, so Fly. One of them, I should have either not cast it because I would have known it was concentration, or
Okay. Well, both
Fly would have fallen.
Your character would know that it was concentration, ergo I will say that it
Okay.
it winks out at this point.
The rolls
Okay.
I got early for the previous 2 hits were both the original rolls before I
So
added
it wouldn't have
advantage, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
That's fine.
Right, fine.
So-
We're good.
First hit, non-natural 20. Second
Hits.
hit, non-natural 21. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean, how could I get a natural 21? I'm not adding smite to this. I feel like I've got a good chance without. So 6 points of physical,
Okay.
9 points of radiant for the first one. Oh. 3 points of physical, and 5 points of radiant for the second one.
Was it 5 physical?
Yeah.
Alright.
So total of 7 physical and
Right.
total of I think it was 11.
Okay.
radiant.
You kill it, describe how.
Okay. It was like, okay, give me right. In that case, as you swing me round, smack it, 2 hits into it, and can I say that you just shot put me, so you continue the spin,
Yes. I do a little spin on the ceiling.
and you just let go
Nice.
at the last moment. So I land on it, shunt the smash the mace end first through its central eye, and then my arm gets stuck, and I just slowly ride this thing down to the ground.
Yeah, because it has hover naturally, so it's just... And then it sort of just goes... boom, 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 on the ground.
I laugh.
As you pull your arm from it, it just sort of shifts over to one side and then flollops onto the floor.
Huh. I really hope this Jimothias' bones are in this chest.
I pull my rat skull out of my pocket to do a shot and then realise that I'm upside down and it's going to be really hard, so I do a little monk jump to the floor when I get there.
Okay. Right, well...
I'm going to try and open the chest. And it's like,
Alright.
fuck it. I'm gonna, no, I didn't say I'd do an investigation check.
Oh, open it. Go.
I do
Alright.
I do at least what I was going to do before, though, and push the chest away from the wall first, so I can open it from behind the chest. I'm not
You're
standing.
gonna have to, you're gonna have to pull it away from the wall. But when you do, the rest of you get a look at what's inside. Immediately, it looks like it's filled with gems of some sort.
No body parts, though.
No,
Ah, shit.
it's yeah.
I pick
If
one
you
up
do
and
an
lick
investigation
it to see
check?
if it's real.
Gems, yeah.
Yeah.
They seem to be. They look like rubies or garnets or something. Quite, or at least semi-precious.
What do they taste like?
Vaguely metallic.
Huh.
Well, I fill the remaining space in my bag with gems.
Alright, as you remove the gems, you're able to guess that there may be worth a total of 700 gold pieces, all told. But you do find several other objects as well. One appears to be a wand of some sort. A set of what looks like, at first, just plain studded leather armor. But it looks pristine. And the last thing you find there is a semi-translucent cube.
I pick up the cube.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
Okay, you do actually pick it up.
I'm picking
your
it up.
fingers don't just sink into it and start dissolving. Because I was expecting baby gelatinous cube at that point.
11. It's definitely magical, but damned if you know what it's for.
I'll lick it.
It tastes kind of staticky. Like,
Nah.
Yeah.
your character wouldn't really have this frame of reference, but it's like licking a battery.
Ugh.
Well, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's like, my tongue's slightly numb now.
You shouldn't have that frame of reference. Why are you going around licking batteries?
It's a long
Maybe
story.
Make a good point, Samuel.
No, it's the way.
Actually licked a battery.
I don't think I've licked a battery.
Okay, you can test a 9-volt battery by licking the end of it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I did not know
It's
that.
not exactly a pleasant experience, but it'll tell you whether or not it's dead.
What does it
Just
taste
to
like
see
if it's not dead?
It doesn't taste like anything. It tastes basically like metal if it's dead. But if it's live, you get a slight jolt.
No.
This seems like a terrible idea.
It seems like a really bad
I mean,
idea.
in fairness, it's a 9-volt battery. It's not. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's not high enough amperage to actually harm you.
No, but even
Well,
so.
we've all learnt something today.
Yes.
Okay. Right. I guess we run out and check that last door. I'm really
Well, you
hoping
have
we can find
two
sarcophagus.
doorways to choose from.
Oh, there are doorways in here. Sorry.
Yeah, you have
I missed
two
that
doorways
one.
to choose from in this current chamber that you're in. There's the one opposite the door you came in, and the one to your right as you come in. Okay, so you have the door opposite the door you came in through, or the one to your right as you come in.
What opposite we came into?
Opposite,
Take a
yeah.
peek through.
Let's do it.
Alright, you see that there is a passageway ahead of you, which leads to another open chamber. There is a small door off to the left-hand side, about halfway down the passage as well. The chamber that is at the end of the passage, there seems to be a large dais on with some white crackling energy coming off it, but that's about all you can see of it at the moment.
Don't want to touch that.
Sod it! I'm using the paladin trap finding method, and I'm striding through the corridor until I can get into that room and see if there's anything that would indicate a sarcophagus or similar.
Okay, as you enter this chamber, it's not as big as the one you just came from, although it's reasonably big, and it is taken up entirely by this dais of some kind. It has 4 prongs. It's vaguely circular, but it has 4 prongs around the edge of it, opposite each other. And these appear to be directing arcs of energy upwards through what just looks like a small hole in the roof of the chamber. It's like crackling and swirling, and there's obviously a lot of arcane energy travelling through this.
Is there anything else in the
Still
room?
within 10 minutes, Stuffy can still fly.
Oh,
Right.
I can still fly.
And yeah, it's a 10-minute spell, so I
Yeah.
think you've got a couple of minutes left on it, probably.
Yeah, probably.
We're kind of rushing through things.
Yeah.
So.
Do you want to just take a look up at the
I'm
ceiling?
going to take a look up at the ceiling. Phew!
Alright, as you make it to the ceiling, you see that the arcane energy is being transferred through this. It's a relatively small hole, actually. It's maybe the size of a coaster or a reasonably large fist.
Yeah.
Is it circular or square?
It's circular.
Okay.
If there's nothing else in this room, while she's checking that out, I'm going to go back and check the passageway off to the left and see if there's
Alright.
anything in there.
Alright, there's a small door. You see, it's a small rectangular room, maybe 20 feet by 40.
Mm-hmm.
And it appears to be entirely unadorned, other than there is an altar at the far end with what looks to be a glass or at least a transparent chalice on it.
Fuck it, I'm going to run up to that chalice, traps be damned, and see if it's got like a finger bone in it or something.
Alright, make a perception check.
Grimly specific.
10.
10. As you walk across the room, the floor beneath you gives way, and you see that the tiles around where you are start to slant inwards at about a 45-degree angle. You are pitched head first into a bath, essentially, of bright green liquid, and immediately your skin begins to burn. You take... Oh boy.
No saves? No saves. Right.
I'm falling into a bath of acid.
Hey, where'd Fo go?
Okay, you take 23 acid damage.
20 how much?
3.
3. Okay. This will be a great time to fly.
You will continue to take a certain amount per round
Yep.
until you escape. Or you
Great.
die.
So I'm still on the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
I have
I'm
a
gonna say
portable
that-
hole. I want to try putting it over the little hole where the energy's going into.
Alright. So a portable hole, as I understand it, just works with it by, it will create a small portal between one hard surface and the other side of that hard surface. Is that how that works?
I think so. It's basically like a small, like creatures can fall into it and you can fold it up again.
Okay.
That's kind of how it works. I don't know how to explain that in any
Oh,
way.
you can fall into it and fold it up again. Okay, well,
yeah, it's like the
yeah,
Acme hole.
yeah, alright, yeah, from Roger Rabbit, yeah, okay. That's always what I'd imagine the portable hole sounds like. Anyway,
Yeah, that's basically the description of it, that, as I understood it.
okay, in which case then, you place it over the hole, and the swirling arcane energy swirls up into it for a few moments, and then the hole just sort of disgorges it all back down into the room. It sort of swirls around the pylons, and you can see that you're kind of creating a bit of a feedback loop. But essentially, after a few moments, the energy starts feeding back on itself, and then the pillars or pylons around the outside of the dais in this room shatter. Just
What did you do?
all of the arcane energy dissipates.
So I'm
Does
assuming...
the room stay up?
Yes, although what I'm going to have to ask both of you to do, and I will roll one for Hubert as well, is roll a perception check to see if you heard foe.
Yeah, I was going to say, 'cause that's just made a lot of noise and it's probably covered the screaming.
23.
I very much didn't. 8.
No?
23.
Hubert didn't. You do hear foe.
Guys, Fo's dying.
Yeah, given the reliability of my team, by the way, I'm not waiting for them to save me. I'm going to try and climb out as well.
Okay, make a strength saving throw.
When Darren goes first, Darren goes to go, oh shit.
No, that's
Wait
my
for a minute,
second worth.
And then ever so casually come down from the ceiling, take a shot of vodka and wander off to find him.
19.
Okay, you manage to pull yourself up, essentially what is 5 feet of sheer rock face, and out of the acid pit. However, all of your armor and all of your weapons are reduced by 1.
Oh wow, so it's actually destroyed.
It's corroding them.
Everything's
Anything,
magical.
anything non-magical. Okay, so your helmet is fine.
Oh,
Anything
actually, no,
non-magical, you are.
This is true. The armor isn't magical, so that goes down.
Yeah. Okay, your armor effectiveness is reduced by 1.
I lose 2 armor because my shield got affected.
Okay,
So I'm
I
down
will
to
say your
17
shield
from
is
19.
reduced by 1.
Yeah, so
It is, because you were covered from head to foot in acid.
Yeah, that's fine. I've gone from AC 19 to AC 17 then.
I start walking off to go and save Fur and then realise that I left my hole on the ceiling. Fly up, casually get it, come back down again, walk very slowly to go and get him.
Alright.
I will try and get to that fucking glass dish and see if there's anything of value of use in there.
Well, actually, as you climb out, you see that it has disappeared.
I'd like to try and shatter the altar in frustration.
Alright, are you going to cast Shatter, or...?
No, I'm just making an
hitting
attack. I'm hitting it with my mace. That's
Okay.
a 17 to hit.
That does hit.
And it does a grand total of 4 points of damage. I just want to
Wait.
crack the damn thing.
Okay, yeah, there's a small spider web crack, like, the crack on an iPhone.
Never
On
mind.
the-
There was nothing of use in this room. Is there a way? Is the entire central floor gone now? There's no way?
No,
for me to get
there is
around?
there's a small pathway around the outside of
Okay,
the
I
acid,
will-
but
I
it
will
is
go-
slanted at a 45-degree angle, so you will have to make an acrobatics check in order to cross it.
Or I could do this. Or I could just do this. Hubert, could you please come give me a lift?
Yeah.
What is it that you would like me to do?
Literally, can you please fly over here and help me across?
Oh, of course, yes. He flies across like a large malevolent bat and picks you up and flies you back across the acid, occasionally going, oh, no, you see. They never said we were humorless.
With Hubert, I imagine he flaps. Stuff
Yes.
doesn't flap, but Hubert does.
Yeah, and actually after he picks you up with his hands, he continues flapping with his legs.
Oh.
And he deposits you back on the correct side of the acid.
Well, nothing of use in that room. Just traps and illusions.
Well, Stuffy
Alright.
broke the other room, so...
Oh, I guess it's back to the statue room, and we'll see what was in that door we should have
Was
tried
there
the first
nothing
time.
else in the energy room?
No. There was, however, another passageway off the room with the beholder in that you haven't gone down yet.
Right,
Let's go to that one.
Go to that one. That one then.
Alright. You pass down this one, it immediately turns around to its left, and you end up in a reasonably large room which has a coffin, a wooden coffin in the middle of it. There is a much smaller statue in this room. This one appears just to be holding a brazier that would be, you would imagine, lit with coals. And at the opposite side of this room, there are 3 chests.
So first of all, I'm healing myself 30 hit points.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Probably
open one of the
wise.
chests.
Just gonna open them in turn. There's no riddle.
I'm gonna open one of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open
No
the
fucking
middle
riddles
one.
or shit.
The
Just go
middle one.
straight to the
Open
middle
middle
with
one.
my
test.
hands.
The middle one you open. Okay, right. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. No, blah 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 blah. 19.
All right. You open the chest and immediately perform a double backflip as a cloud of poisonous gas shoots out of it.
Ha.
It appears to be empty.
Oh.
Other than that, the other 2 on either side remain.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tear the coffin open.
I'm going to open the chest on the right.
Alright. Alright. The chest on the right does appear to contain at least some form of treasure, but I'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah,
you open the coffin. It is a wooden coffin. Looks kind of flimsy, actually, but you spend a few moments just sort of prizing it apart, and inside you find nothing. It's just an empty coffin.
I'm going to
Dracula,
stab.
isn't it?
I'm going to
Dr.
stab one of my
Dracula's
javelins
Jimothias.
into the center, just in case they're invisible.
All right.
It's an invisible corpse.
You make a hole in the center of the coffin, and Hubert says, "You know, I was once told by a very wise man that when dealing with vampires, the only thing more perturbing than discovering a coffin with the vampire in is a coffin without it in."
It's Dr. Dracula in it, or whatever his name was.
You said anything about vampires. I'm just very frustrated.
All right. In
Build
the
coffin.
you open the right-hand side chest. Immediately you see that it does appear to have a large number of gems in it, but I'm going to have to ask you to make an Arcana check before I continue.
Lol.
Yeah.
9.
9. Alright, these gems appear to be worth maybe 50 gold pieces each, and there are lots of them. Underneath these gems, you can see that there appear to be like pieces of
Sorry.
there appear to be large metal discs. Not, too big to be coins, but they do appear to be bullion of some sort. And these appear to be platinum.
Ooh, fun.
If you take a moment to gather them all up, you would guess that there's maybe 10,000 gems. And the equivalent in platinum of maybe 10,000 platinum.
Bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
That's a lot. We're rich.
Yeah. I'll say, actually, yeah. If you choose to open the one on the left,
Yep.
you just find the other half of this treasure.
Wow, Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Okay.
So, do we actually need to find...
Yes, we need to find it. We've got to stop the plague.
I mean, we're rich.
I
who
genuinely
cares?
don't think it'll stop the plague.
All right. Can
why not be
everybody
rich?
please make me an investigation check? I will roll one for Hubert.
Natural 1.
Oh, that's good.
10.
20, dirty.
All right. You can see that there appear to be scuff marks on the floor, just right around where the statue is.
Oh, good, because I was about to smash that next.
It
Let's
appears.
try and push
Yeah.
it.
Okay, you push it, and it slides quite easily, eerily well, to one side, revealing a small passageway.
Okay.
Okay,
We're
I
just
run
gonna
down
charge
it.
down
I
this
literally
fucking
barrel down the
passageway.
Or we could leave! I shout after them.
No.
All right. The passageway turns around to the left. There is another smaller chamber in here, and this has a fabulously bedecked coffin in it. At the back of this chamber, there are 2 additional chests.
I'm just going to tear this coffin open. Like mace, with one hand, it's hooked through my shield, mace raised. All I need is a body part.
All right. You open the coffin, and you find there does indeed appear to be a very old, badly preserved skeleton in it.
Okay, that's great. I'll take the meatiest bit.
Oh.
It would be
Yum.
probably the fibia.
Yeah, I'm just going to tear off a fibia. That's all I need.
Okay.
I'm going to casually open both of the chests. Just because, why not?
Alright, you open the chests, and you discover there is a lot more treasure in here.
Oh, this just says trap to me.
You find 3 huge gems. You would guess, the 3 huge gems are a periodot, an emerald, and a black opal. These would be worth 10,000, 50,000, and 100,000 gold pieces, respectively.
Okay.
You find 4 weapons. One appears to be a sword. The next appears to be a dagger. One appears to be a very large axe, and the final one is a spear. You also find a number of potions. You would have to identify some of them, but you can tell that one is a potion of supreme healing. In fact, there are 4 potions of supreme healing. One appears to be a potion of vitality, and there are some that you have absolutely no idea what they could possibly be.
We can get a wizard to examine them in town. Can we just shove the whole chests into a bag?
Throw them all in my bag.
Yeah, just put the whole chests into the bag.
All right.
This is too much treasure.
And let's
we should
just
leave.
get out. We need to get
Okay.
out of this place before that Balgura comes back.
Okay. Okay. You retrace your steps until you make it back to the big room with the statue in.
Can I gather people up and cast a spell before we get to that point?
Certainly. What spell do you want to cast?
I'm going to cast a 4th level long strider and just give everyone 10 feet more movement.
Fantastic. No, yeah, we are just making out of this
Let's
place
leave.
as quickly as we can.
Run.
We have what
Okay.
we came for.
All right.
We do not want to be around when the demon returns.
Okie dokie. You pass through the large room, and you can hear from the opposite side, through the door you didn't go through, like the scratching of fingernails, like...
Ignore
Run,
it! No!
run,
running!
run,
just
just
running!
You go back through the room with the large tables, back through the sort of zigzaggy corridor, and out through into the main outside part. Night has fallen now, and in front of you there is the familiar figure of Dr. Ricard Acula. It's just standing in front of you, clapping.
Ah, thank the 1,000 gods of Aldanos. Can you please take this bone and do what you need to end this plague?
You have
That seems like a
done.
bad idea.
You have done as I asked, and that is commendable. Lesser people could not have done what you have done, but unfortunately, you have also thwarted my plans.
Well,
And for that, I cannot leave you alive.
I would like to cast Expeditious Retreat and just peg it.
I will join them.
I'm gonna go fuck you and run away.
And that is where we will end that session for
Oh.
today.
Oh.
Did we get away?
I'll say, actually, everybody just roll me a luck check.
Nice.
Because I have 150 feet of movement.
Oh.
I'll say you roll with advantage then.
I throw them the fibia.
And
Yeah.
freedom of movement.
I throw Darren the fibia and stay behind to buy you all time.
I
Oh.
rolled a 2, so you don't buy me much.
Yeah,
I rolled an
I rolled a
18.
1, so I
Ain't
stay
nothing stopping
behind
Darren.
to buy you time.
What does Hubert roll? A 5. Okay. In years to come, and ages yet unborn, there will be the story of how the plague in Haldanos suddenly one day ended as quickly as it had begun. There didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to why, and most people attributed it to just the gods were appeased. Although it is also said that there is a man who began running that day and has not stopped running ever since. He is known as Darren, the running man. And he has a ridiculous amount of wealth on him. And that's probably why people assume why he's running. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Thank
Happy
you.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
everyone.
And thank you very much. Okay, so I believe at this point we say to people, thank you all very much for playing, and thank all of you very much for listening, and fair seas and natural 20s.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinear. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.